Yo, what's up everybody? Today, we're going to be doing some more of the Subarashiki Hibi playthrough. Feels fucking good. I am not really ill this time. I have recovered, so that means we are going to be able to have some fun. I'm planning to do a pretty long session today, and yeah, I'm really quite excited because yesterday I think the story really started to become interesting. We are learning more about characters that, let's be honest, have been on our minds since the beginning of Subarashiki Hibi, in other words, Takuji, and we're also learning more about just what the hell is going to happen with regards to Zakuro and I suppose the aftermath, what's going to happen, what's going to continue from everything that's already been going on, and just in general, I'm really quite excited to see what's going to happen next, especially with Yuki and Takuji, and also, just in general, what happens with the end of the world? Does it happen in this world? Because that's the funniest thing. We have no idea whether it's actually going to occur or not. Because, I mean, it did happen last time, but that was in a dream world. And if you remember last time, I had evidence, in my opinion, that kind of disproved why it would happen. So I don't know. Let's see. Right. Here we go. Just because I was always on the roof wasn't a guarantee that he never came up to the roof. What, Takuji? But the only thing is, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I've already realised my mistake. There's one thing I forgot to do. Oh my god. Taskbar properly. Oh, and I accidentally opened Visual Studio. That pisses me off even more. I needed to set up my macro. There we are, that's good. Though I was always on the roof and I didn't ever run into him. Yeah. Oh, that's actually really quite interesting to think about the fact that, yeah. I really do wonder if Takuji has ever come up to the roof. Maybe this is his signature hiding spot as well, hiding spot from outside of class. But, yeah, I do wonder. He is a very odd fellow. Oh, that's the person I always run into up here. It's Ayana. Ayana-san.
Hi.
Here. And the same theme again. Why is it the case that whenever Ayana is here, this exact theme plays? And whenever... it only occurs when Ayana is here. Every other time, it's not a theme like this. Here. Yeah, she sounds like it as well.
Hi.
Yeah. Let's be honest, when is somebody like her ever happy? She's just... It's impossible for somebody like her to be happy. She's more... I mean, she will have a laugh, but you always just get that really miserable vibe to her. Yeah, you look like you're full of spunk today. What the fuck? Right. Who would have a response to that? Seriously, what the fuck? Yeah, she parried my greeting skillfully. Yeah, she made it so that... I mean, I'm sorry, but if I ever heard a greeting like that, I would just... A response to a greeting like that, I would just think... I would either think you're a person that I want to hang around because you're funny, or in a case like this, I would just think, yeah, stay away. That's the last thing I'm ever going to say to you. She parried my greeting skillfully. Oh my god. Why are you saying that so casually? No, I just followed your lead. What? Yeah. If that's so, neither am I. What? Yeah. I wasn't really talking about a physical substance to begin with either. I mean, you see men. No, wait, are they the same word? She said gose ga demasu ne. Right. But she said gose and then she said seiki. Oh yeah, maybe because it's the ki kanji that represents feeling. Wait, I'm gonna actually kind of investigate this because I'm interested. Wait, so let me just see. I want to see if I can... Oh, IME is so fucking useless. Seiki meaning. Oh, it means century. I didn't realise that. Well, let's see if we can actually just find the origins of this. Right, so, Seiki. Oh no, I'm searching it up and it doesn't look like there's any kanji. Oh wait, no, there is something that exists. Wait, are you gonna let me see what the meaning is? Hang on, this is a joke. Yeah, let me fucking search for it. Dude, it's not letting me search. This is broken. I can't even be bothered. Yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of pun with the words. I don't know. I'm probably looking into it too much. It's just the IME thing is a fucking joke. It's just not. It's showing kanji that I could use, and yet it's not letting me select it. Anyway, it's not really that relevant. I don't even know why I'm looking into this. I love this. God, what a subtle criticism. Oh, I see. I thought it was one of your trademark jokes. Yeah, I see that. Why are you on the roof anyway? Could you imagine if this was genuinely true, by the way? And there is something that is really dark about this plot. Or maybe there's just something we don't know about Ayana. Maybe Takuji and Ayana are engaged and they had sex or something, I don't know. Why are you on the roof anyway? The same reason you are. The same reason? Oh boy, this is going to dig up some nerves. I bet you anything. It's going to change things. I'm looking for Mamiya-kun. Why? I'm also looking for Mamiya-kun. What, really? Oh. That's quite unusual. I really wonder why she's doing this. Is she trying to make a point out of something? The fact that she is always following our lead and she is... But to be fair, I do kind of see why she could potentially have always been following our lead because, I mean, she always goes onto the rooftop exactly the same time we are in this exact location. She's never done it before, but now she started doing it nearly every single day. It's odd. And remember the time where we were waiting for Kagami and Tsukasa to finish their club with the club leader and just giving them a briefing even though they'd already dressed out of their uniforms for the club. Yeah, she was there. Maybe she's always following in our footsteps. And if that's the case, you could entirely reinterpret what Ayana's saying. I bet you anything. Sorry, I just followed your lead. I'm not really looking for anyone. Bit uncomfortable. Yeah, her jokes were kind of hard to follow. I agree, yeah. But if you're looking for Mamiya-kun, Ayana-san pointed down from the roof. Huh, is that? I saw someone in the courtyard. He's going there again, that's really weird. Why? Well, it's a secluded place, nobody goes there. It is, keyword, old, outdated, abandoned. It's the perfect place to be alone in. Just like the rooftop. But to be fair, yeah, who's that? He's going to the old pool. Oh god, this is going to get interesting. Now that you've spotted his shadow, you should probably chase after him. A shadow is a form that you think you want to see, but it also is a form you don't want to see. That's interesting. I really do wonder what she's saying. Maybe this is implying that Ayana has deeper knowledge on Takuji than we know because of the fact that she says that Yuki thinks she wants to see her because she wants to see him because obviously she wants to crack what's actually going on with Zakudou. But maybe Ayana knows the reality of what is happening with Takuji and Takuji's true personality. So maybe objectively, from her point of view, Yuki should not see him. Because maybe he's a really bad person. And maybe that kind of fits. My theory is that there's an abusive relationship that's happened with Zakudou and Takuji. And they've broken up, got back together, broken up, got back together. That's my theory. I don't know though. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so take care. That's kind of confirmed what I've been thinking. So take care when looking at the shadow. That's awfully profound.
すごくかっこいい私。
I agree, yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
そこまで言ってない。
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. Putting that aside, I should probably go chase him. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
確か。
It was around here. That's really unusual to think about the fact that she always gets the vertigo when she's near Takuji. Oh, creepy music. Get that volume up. Not again. Why did this happen? That's...
あれは。
Yeah, it's the music that you'd kind of expect to hear when you're going... when you're having a really weird sensation. Creepy. Oh, what is she going to see? Hang on a second, that's actually really unusual to think about these vertigos. And what are they trying to tell us as well? Isn't it interesting? But the only thing is, I mean, what about the worst part of the vertigo? When she was near, when she was near Kagami and Tsukasa, I mean, there wasn't anything particularly bad that was being talked about there, so I don't really understand what it was. Like, is there a pattern we can notice to these vertigo-related events? Maybe, whenever Takuji's near, that's her body's instinctive reaction? I don't know. A human figure appeared from the base of the pool. It turned this way. Oh, here we are. For some reason, it looked like it was expanding.
なんだ。なんか立ちくらみがまた。
I really don't understand this. What's this? I'm getting dizzy again. Here he is.
マミヤ。
Jesus Christ. He doesn't look very... he doesn't look like he's just going to be able to have a civilized conversation with you. Fucking hell. Mamiya Takuji. Yeah, that's interesting. I seriously felt nauseous every time I saw him. Yeah, and he doesn't exactly look very nice here. Why?
どうしたんだい、水上さん。
What's wrong? Oh, you sound a lot more confident now. That's odd. What's wrong, Minakami-san?
僕に用事かな。
Were you looking for me?
ああ、少しね。用事があってきた。
Yeah, I have something to ask you.
具合悪そうだね。
Yeah, isn't it interesting? Yeah, you seem odd, very out of character. You don't look so good.
別に気にしないで。
Don't worry about me.
僕はこんなに晴れやかなのにね。
What the fuck? I'm feeling great though. What's going on? God, his eyes. And his smile as well! Jesus, you've got to be really careful. And this is the worst thing. I mean, I get that she feels very nauseous every time she sees Takuji, but yeah, God, for good reason. I mean, look at this. These guys barely know each other, and yet this is what... Yeah, what's going on? He was acting a little weird. A little? Why was he so confident? Agreed, yeah. I thought he was a lot more meek. Yeah, totally. There aren't many things that could cause a change like that. That's a very good point. How did he change? I don't understand. One was mental disease and the other one were... Yes, that's a really good point. I mean, I think to cause a sudden change for someone to be social, to be really, really shy, to somehow sociable and confident, I think, I mean, judging by his face, he looks very, very evil. I don't really think it's necessarily mental disease, but I feel it's just something that is stimulating his excitement. Maybe that's why, I don't know. One was mental disease, the other one was drug. Oh, yeah, reasonable. I felt worse every time we met, and his attitude was changing too. Agreed, yeah, but isn't it interesting that it changes after Zakudor's death? What is significant about that? Yeah. It was possible he'd been smoking something. Yeah, reasonable. Ah, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a smoking drug. It could be any sort of pill. But it was kind of strange that he didn't smell at all.
気化して使う麻薬か。ないな。
Why the fuck can he hear what we are saying? Are we accidentally saying it out loud? Smoking with a vaporizer. Vaporizer? What? You say? Nope. Wait, so a vaporizer... Wait. I want to get, just so that I can have the most informed impression, what exactly does a vaporizer look like? Because... Wait, so a vaporizer's things for cigarette? I always see... Oh, yeah. Vape pens find the perfect vaporizer. Yeah, no. Oh, okay. I thought a vaporizer, I mean, it just sounds like it could be a murder weapon, so I wanted to look into it. Smoke with a vaporizer, you say? Nope. Huh?
それって無味無臭な薬物なのかな。すごく値段高くない？
Yeah, totally, I agree. Wouldn't that have to be something tasteless and odorless? That would be crazy expensive.
何よそれ。
Well, what you just said, what you're talking about.
どうしたの？まるで心が読まれて驚いているみたいだけど。
I totally agree. I don't really understand. But isn't it interesting? I think what Yuki has done is she was really nervous, so she's accidentally stuttered a little bit of what she's thinking. Let's be honest, we've all done it. I think that's what's occurred, and then Takuji's passing it on as if she has never done anything of the sort. What's wrong? You look shocked, as if someone just read your mind. Yeah, I mean, he kinda did.
なんか質問があったんじゃないかな。
Yeah, why are you so fucking
だか
different?
ら会いに来た。
Didn't you have a question for me? That's why you came. Yeah. Hang on, I'm just going to move my monitor a bit. Just pissing me off. There we go. That's why you came.
何はしゃいでるんだか。気味が悪い人だ。
What are you so cheerful for? You're a creepy guy.
なるほど。高島さんの机に僕の名
How
前
the fuck does
ね。
he know? He's been watching our
そ
every
んなも
move.
の
I
よく
bet you
見つけた
anything.
ね。
He's been watching our every move. I see. My name was on Takashima-san's desk. Huh? You did a good job finding that. Yeah, no. And I totally think. You remember the swimming pool incident? That first time we met Takuji and he seemed really, really shy? That's obviously because of the fact that he is a really, really good and secretive person. Yeah, that's odd.
マミやあなた
Mummy, are you... Ow! What,
また頭
what's
痛か
happening?
い？もしかして
Hmm.
真理をつかみつつある僕にめまいを起こしてるのかな。
Well, but the only thing is I don't really understand why... I don't really understand what is bad about grasping the truth. Why would it be something that Yuki is really, really stressed about? Maybe the truth is something that can never be known apart from by the person who did it. I don't know, I just really get the impression that there could be a link to the crime and Takuji. I don't know, I just have that hunch. I mean, it's a hunch, it's ridiculous, it's literally baseless. It's as baseless as those rumours. It's interesting to think about the fact that he's found the truth. It's either because he's a really clever and intellectual person, he's just done it quicker than we have, or maybe he was linked, I don't know.
何それ。
But the only thing
バカ
is...
じゃない。
Yeah, what, that's ridiculous.
そうだね。君ならもしかしたらわかるかもしれない。確かに僕は君のことを赤の他人とは思えないんだよ。
Quite, I thought you would understand. I can't write you off as a complete stranger.
気色悪い。あなたと私は赤の他人でしょ。
Seriously, yeah.
ただクラスが同じってだけで。
That's gross. We are complete strangers. The only thing we have in common is our class.
そうだね。僕と君は確かにそういう関係だよね。
Of course, that's the relation between you and I. This guy is really creepy.
だから僕は君に挨拶はしない。
I like that. That's why you deserve no greeting from me. Huh?
なぜならば僕の前に立つ人間が一流か否か確かめなければならないからだよ。
That's weird. What? Because I have to confirm whether or not the person in front of me is a superior human being. What? What does that even mean? How?
何を言ってる。
What do you... Oh, so another headache.
もう一度言うよ。
What the fuck? I will say it once more.
だから僕からは挨拶しないよ。
That's why you deserve no greeting from me. Are you okay? Like, seriously, what is he going to try and do? I'm going to be honest, I mean, I get the fact that Yuki's feeling really, really nauseous at the moment, but I don't know what Takuji's doing, but I think fucking run. Yeah, I agree. Was he always this kind of freak? I know, it's really, really hard to tell, and isn't it interesting just to think about how insanely different he was at the beginning of, you know, everything regarding the Chapter 2 events. Isn't it interesting, the sky and going to the limits of the sky with limitless intentions? I mean, I think it's probably how far would Takuji want to be going. That kind of makes sense now. That was kind of a theory I had, so I think that confirms it. How far? I mean, but it was as if we were involved. We were the ones seeing how far he is going to go. I don't know. I'll have to reinterpret that once I've finished this chapter, but still, that's really odd. Yeah, was he always this kind of freak? This kind of... Ouch, my head hurt. Seriously. Yeah, no. It is actually really quite unusual to think about the fact that someone like Yuki... I would have thought that beforehand, Yuki would be someone who was quite good in the face of a crisis, but no, I'm surprised she is just... Well, I mean, she may be good, but at the same time, her body is physically declining on her. No matter how good she is, she won't be able to confront him or do anything, to be honest. She's kind of defenseless.
そうだね。言ってしまえば、今はまだ二次元なんだよ。
What? That's right. To put it in words, you're still confined to the second dimension.
二次元?
The second dimension?
そうだよ。そうだよ。今ここは二次元の世界。君たちはそこにいるトカゲのような存在だ。
I mean, if that doesn't spell mental illness out, I don't know what does. And that would kind of explain his sudden change in emotions. Maybe it could be psychopathy or something like that. If that's the case, I don't really understand what's going to happen. What's going to be the result of this conversation? Yes, that's right. This place, right now, is the two-dimensional world. Your current existence is like that of an... I know, that is so weird. Yeah, what are you talking about?
その二次元のトカゲはどうやって三次元を知る?
Well, it can't. That's actually really quite interesting. I mean, judging by the fact that Takuji could have potentially read our entire mind, I don't really understand this, because it's really quite funny to think about the fact that he is likening us to a two-dimensional creature. We are in reality three-dimensional creatures, but I think it's just saying, how would you comprehend a dimension and an order of power and status that is just so away from your reach? You can't. So maybe that's why we can't understand why Takuji is reading our mind, why he knows everything that we've been doing, why, for example, Ayana completely disappeared that one time. Ayana in general, to be honest.
何の話だか全然わかんないって。
Yeah.
つうか話の脈絡なさすぎだ。
I see that. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying at all. You're not making any sense.
一つは三次元が二次元の面を通る時の影。刻々と変わる立方体の影。それで二次元のトカゲは立方体。三次元の存在を知るであろう。
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting because it's saying maybe the observation of Takuji is going to make us understand more of the true nature of what the fuck is happening in this world. Or maybe just anybody with a higher power or status. What about Zakudo, by the way? I really do wonder. I really wouldn't be surprised if it was Takuji who sent the email, to be honest. He just seems like the type of person who would. I mean, he was a bit suspicious ever since he was basically... I don't really want to say creeping up on us because I don't know if he was, but the fact that we were there and yet he was at the same time and he didn't do anything until we saw him, it's just a bit odd. I think he's always been suspicious. Or maybe whatever's caused this really odd state has only been recently, who knows? Yeah, one way is for the ant to observe a three-dimensional object passing through the plane of the second dimension. It would observe the object as a square flickering in place. Yeah, no, I see that. I can just imagine somebody inserting a cube or something, and then you just get the cross section of it, and then I suppose it would just flicker. But I suppose if you had an irregular shaped object, what I'd imagine is you just get the cross section of, let's say it's like a video camera, you get the cross section of each individual, I don't know, frame of the cube as it passes through. But the only thing is, if it passes through and it ends in the second dimension, is it going to be three-dimensional or two-dimensional? I mean, it will have to be converted to two dimensions, but the only thing is, if a three-dimensional object passes into a two-dimensional world, which if it's a series of cross-sectional faces that are being passed through, which is the last one going to be the one that defines the shape in the 2D area? In the 2D world, sorry. Or is it going to be a collection? Well, to be fair, it would be so quick that you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. But, I don't know. Actually, it's a really quite odd question. I mean, it's logical for it to be the last one. But I don't know. Or at least it makes sense for me. Yeah, but that's interesting. So if we experience something from a higher dimension here, it will be as if it's flickering. Oh yeah, maybe that it relates to the headaches we're getting, and maybe Takuji is a being of higher dimension, and this is kind of like the flickering we're getting. We're getting flickering in our minds. And maybe the flickering is because of the fact that we're observing Takuji. I don't know.
そう二次元のトカゲが三次元を想像できるのはその影を見ることだけだ。
Oh yeah, that's such a hint. Yeah, the only part of the third dimension the two-dimensional ant's imagination can conjure is its shadow.
刻々と時間によって変化する。その影を見ること
Yeah,
だけ
no,
が
I see that.
二次元に住む者たちに許されたことだ。
Yeah, the only thing those living in the two dimensions are permitted to watch is the shadow changing from moment that's really, really interesting. It kind of reminds me of the incident as well. We're only permitted to watch it change and watch everything progress. We're not permitted to see who is doing it.
我々三次元の人間は四次元をどうやって知
Yeah,
る
we couldn't.
五次元をどうやって知る六次元さらなる次元の高みをどうやって知る
Isn't it interesting just to think about the fact that how will we, the three-dimensional humans, he's referring to himself, he's referring to us as an ant. It's interesting that he feels as if, I think he's trying to test our understanding. You remember the stuff about the superior being? He's trying to test whether we are superior or we are inferior to him. And whether we are an ant or we are a human being. Then how would we three-dimensional humans comprehend the fourth dimension? How would we comprehend the fifth, the sixth? How would we comprehend dimensions beyond that? Well, we
そう
couldn't.
だよ二次元が立方体の影でその存在を想像するように、我々もその影で高次元を想像しなければならないんだ。
Yeah, I see that. That's right. In the same way a two-dimensional being can only imagine us as square shadows, we must imagine the higher dimensions as shadows. He was talking like a madman. Yeah, I see that. I mean, you've just barely met somebody and then you're talking as freakily as this. I totally see that. Yeah, he was talking like a madman. But what he was saying... Oh, that's interesting. He was referencing Edwin Abbott's Flatland. That was quite the highbrow reference. Yeah, so he definitely reads as well. Isn't it interesting that we have that common theme of people really knowing philosophical works here? But to be fair, that's the funny thing about philosophy. It really, really is subjective. If you get somebody mad and you get them into philosophy, they will... Oh my god, their ideals... Yeah, they will be scary. My head hurt. Why was I so dizzy? It is interesting that, but maybe it's just because of the fact that she's trying to comprehend something from a higher dimension. But how could Takuji be in a higher dimension, though? He was... Yeah, Mamiya Takuji was staring at my face. Oh yeah, that's funny. He wouldn't look away at all. They say a mental patient never looks away from... That's interesting. I really wonder why. Reasonable, yeah. But the only thing is, I mean, I get with Takuji... Yeah, no, I can't see that actually, yeah. Because they can't understand how uncomfortable it is for another person to be stared at. God, that's vivid. But it makes sense. It really does. Yeah, isn't that interesting? But the only thing is I don't necessarily think this means he's mental. It could just mean he is very, very menacing and he is wanting to install this fear into us. But why, if that's the case? Is it because we're coming close to the truth? Mamiya Takuji never looked away from me. It was incredibly uncomfortable. Annoying. Yeah, reasonable, yeah. I wanted to throw him to the floor and punch him until my headache went away. No, don't do that. Dude, you have a headache. You're physically sick. Actually, that sounded like a good idea. Holy fuck. But if Takuji can read our thoughts, potentially, And that obviously installs more belief into the higher dimension theory. But if you can, that's not very good. Mummy, I'll come a bit closer.
そうだよ。僕は行くよ。
Yeah, funny that. He doesn't fall for the trap whatsoever. Jesus Christ, why does he look so fucking evil? I'll be going now.
人の話聞け。
Hey, I'm talking to you.
殴られるのは好きじゃないんだよ。
God, look at him. Yeah. I'm not too fond of getting punched. Huh? Why? Could he really read? But why though? Yeah! That's so weird. Is he one of these people that are insanely... Oh, I don't know. He's just like the human equivalent of Sherlock Holmes. He can read stuff just by deducing. I don't know. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think that could be possible. Could he really read my mind?
僕が君の心を
Yeah, that's insane. Can I really read your mind?
その疑問は
Well, yeah, no.
君が追いつけばわかるさ。
Yeah, can I really read your mind? I'll let you chase that particular answer yourself.
ただし追いつくことができなければ永遠にわからないけどね。
But the only thing is, I think he's teasing us. Remember the stuff about the dimensions and us not being able to understand because it's potentially a higher dimension? I mean, this is just a teasing statement if you ask me, because he thinks that we will never catch it. But if you can't catch it, you will never know.
マミヤタクジ
Mamiya
で
Takuji.
は僕は行くからね。
Well, then I'll be taking my leave. What a fucking weirdo. Mamiya Takuji disappeared. I know, it's such a change of character. We've never seen him like this before. Yeah, he was so small and he'd always been meek before. Oh yeah, I don't blame you. Who wouldn't? But for some reason, I'd felt strangely nervous just looking at him. My hand was balled up into a fist, and my palm was dripping with... Yeah, no, I don't blame her.
このクソ
Well, it's
暑
just-
さのせいで
It's just because of how ridiculously stressed she is. Why is it so damn hot? Yeah, my head hurt. I wasn't in a good mood either. Yeah, I really don't blame her. Was this strange feeling because of the heat? It doesn't help that it's summer, it really doesn't. Oh my god, that cicada sounds so... That cicada sounds so similar to the one in Higurashi. Oh, sound effects have disappeared. That's annoying. I wanted to listen to them, just with a bit of a louder volume. It's not because of the heat, man, it's just... Yeah, I think so. Or something other than that. Something felt strange. Since that time... Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, the landscape I'd known had been changing faster and faster. Yeah, I see that. Isn't that interesting? The world that never changed a bit until now was slowly melting. But I do totally see that. Isn't it really quite funny just to think about the fact that after Zakudo's death, the world has just been deteriorating because it's been a strange event that has led to another strange event that has led to another strange event, and nothing will ever be the same with the increased amount of tension that these rumours are causing. You can't return to the old days, which is a real shame, but at the same time it's the case. Funny to think about the fact that everything has changed. Like, for example, Yuki would always relax, she'd always skip school. I mean, she does still skip classes, but she still goes to school because she feels as if... Well, I think she feels scared and she wants to feel like she can get to the truth of whatever the hell is happening. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it is melting. I totally see that. Wow. Look at that. It really reminds me of Sayan no Uta for some reason. I love this though. These are really interesting colours. Isn't it interesting just the fantastical nature of this? I mean, it just looks wrong. If anybody knows the well, the Utau artist X00X, it looks like their song for the Kune Kune theme of, well, the song themed on the Kune Kune urban legend. This world just doesn't conform to the normal rules of humanity. I mean, look at this. This is our first confirmation about the fact that there is something supernatural going on. What's really odd is this supernatural occurrence that we've had could potentially imply that this world is another dream world, just like the one that we've seen in the previous world. What's really unusual about all of this is we're just so in the dark. I mean, we seriously have no idea what the fuck is gonna happen. What the fuck is happening with my... Oh my fucking god. Come on. Dig. Right. Actual dig. Yeah, that's hilarious. He totally sees through everything we're intending to potentially do to him. And isn't it interesting with Yuki there? Maybe that's a theme that we'll get back to soon. Acting on impulses, not thinking a situation through. Thinking a situation is too stressful, so I will just lash out. I will use my natural instincts. I won't rationally think about it. I think this world could potentially be another lie, another dream. I think it might actually be likely that it could end on July the 20th. But why is it the case that everything's normal until Zakudor dies, though? I think that's a recurring theme. Very weird interrogation. I find it very interesting what Takuji said about the dimensional stuff. I think the flickering, it kind of explains the flickering for me. Ant! I love that. Wasn't it interesting about the inferior and superior beings? Yeah. I think if we understood the truth about Zakudor, maybe we'd be superior because we could potentially have power to alter Takuji's goings on. You waited for us, didn't you? Wow. Oh, yep, the Kagami impression again. It's not like I care about you or anything. Yeah, you can stop with that gag already. I love this. They really sound similar now. That's a hilarious thing. But I had to follow the archetype. I don't know what kind of strange world would have an archetype like that. You dare leverage criticism at one, merely for being a bit particular with his manner of dress, picked out by his mum, smelling just a tad bit out of the norm, not conforming to the average body type, wearing a unique style of glasses, and maybe having a weird hobby or what? It was, seriously. No, and that was really long. Then what about, I don't know, some reference to something. That one was shorter, but it's still completely unrelated. I don't get it at all. I really do wonder who this is. God, he definitely sounds like somebody that people wouldn't be a woman magnet, let's just say that. But then again, I mean, you could definitely get by. Yeah, that's just looks and appearances, doesn't say anything about personality. It was really long though, seriously. What's wrong, Yuki? Oh yeah, they've noticed. I don't blame them. Who would not be shaken after having spoken with Takuji like that?
何が
Huh? What do you mean?
さっきから私たちの顔をずっと見てる。
That's really weird. You've been staring at our faces for a while now.
そうかな。
She doesn't realise it. That's weird.
そういう時はユキが何か聞きたい時だよ。
When you do that, it's usually because you want to ask something. Yeah.
まあ大したことじゃないんだけど。
Well, it's not a big deal.
どうしたのよ、ユキ。
What's wrong, Yuki?
いや、なんか変なメール来
Oh,
なかった。
yeah, interesting. Oh, I like the creepy os that we're having. I don't know if we've heard this one yet. I don't think so. Nothing. Have you gotten any strange emails? Interesting that she's not saying anything about Takuji. She may feel as if she'd have the possibility of getting hurt. Or something odd. Well, she's probably very intimidated about the fact that Takuji can somehow read her mind. Have you gotten any strange
何
emails?
それ。
What do you mean?
変なメールってどんなメール？
What kind of email?
ああ、いや、変なメールがなければ問題ないんだよね。
Oh, nothing. If you haven't got any weird ones, it's not a problem.
何かあったの？
Did something happen?
いや、大したことじゃないんだ。
Yes, something did happen. No, it's not a big deal.
何かあったのね。
Something did happen, didn't it? Yep.
高島さんのことかな。
Yep. Is it about Takashima-san? You've got to tell them. Yuki.
大したことじゃないんだけど、あのね、さっきあなたたちと別れた後すぐに剣道部の横山テルに会った。
Oh my god, she still doesn't remember Yasuko's name. It's not a big deal, but after you guys left, I was talking to Yokoyama something Teru.
横
Yokoyama beep Teru.
そんな人いないけど。
Some sort of anime character that these guys really like. There's no one with that name in our school.
いない？あ、あのさ、うちのクラスの横山、体感だったかの妹な。
No, it wasn't. There's not. It was the little sister of the guy in our class. I think his name was Taikan? No, it wasn't.
あのさ、横山って、横山清くんのこと？
How do you think Taikan? Is that some sort of reference to the anime that the initial reference was from? Wait, Yokoyama. You mean Yokoyama Kiyoshi?
そうそう、横山清の妹の横山テル。
Yeah, yeah. Kiyoshi's little sister, Yokoyama something Teru.
いや、だから横山テルとかいないから、いるのは横山やすこちゃん。
Yep. Like I said, there's no Yokoyama something Teru. You're thinking of Yokoyama Yasuko.
ああ、そうそう、やすこちゃん。
Oh yeah, her. Yasuko-chan.
やすこちゃんはどうしたの？
Yeah. You know shit is real when Kagami doesn't even get pissed off at her for forgetting names. So what were you talking about?
あ、うん。なんかいろいろと不安がってたみたいだった。
Oh, she seemed upset about something or other.
なんて言ってたの？
What did she say?
いや、大したことじゃないけど。うん、大したことじゃない。
No, it's nothing important. Yes, it is. It's really not a big deal.
メールってさっき言ってた。
You were talking about some email earlier.
いや、なんか変なメールが出回っているみたいでね。いたずらメールなんだけど、それでやすこが不安がって。
Seems like some weird. I was about to say animal for some reason. Email was going around. A prank email. Yasuko seemed really upset about it.
変なメール？
A weird email?
いや、なんかちょっとしたいたずらだよ。
It's nothing. It's just a little prank. Why is she trying to brush it off? Why is she not thinking, let's talk about this with my friends?
世界が滅亡するってやつ？
Interesting. The one that says the world will end.
知ってるの？
You heard about it?
直接は。ただやすこちゃんがそんなことぼそりと言ってたのを聞いたから。
Damn! So she was late to club as well? Not directly, but I overheard Yasuko-chan talking about it. Or is this maybe another another occurrence, not the one with Yuki and Yasuko?
ユキ、なんて答えたの？
Yuki, what did you tell her?
ありえないって。
I told her that was impossible.
でも彼女、ユキにそう言われた後になっても世界の終わりを怖がってたみたい。
That's really surprising because she seemed totally reassured when she was with us. Maybe that was just the front she was putting up. I don't know, maybe she was feeling a bit overwhelmed, so as a result of that she tries to put a front of being reassured so that she can just leave. I don't know, but even after you talked to her, she seemed a bit scared about the end of the world.
そんなことありえないのに。
Yeah. Even though that's impossible. Odd. Oh, what's this? Oh, right, okay.
朝練があるんで。
We have practice tomorrow in the morning. What are they practicing for?
はい。
Sure.
明日迎えに来れないから遅刻しちゃダメだよって司は言ってるのよ。
I like that. Yeah, what she's saying is that we can't come to get you tomorrow, so don't sleep in.
ああ、なるほど。
Oh, I see.
本当に分かってるのかな。
Do you really understand? Well, I hope so.
若月姉妹が来ないからゆっくり寝れるってことですね。
Clearly it means I can sleep in since the Wakatsuki sisters won't be around to bother me. I like that.
違います。ちゃんと起きるんです。
No, you need to get up.
こいつは。
You little.
大丈夫。遅刻なんてしませんよ。
Don't worry, I won't be like, oh my god, you're so teasing her.
本当かな。
Yeah, I really wonder about that. Yep. Yeah, those two disappeared into their house. Yeah. Yeah, isn't it actually really quite funny to think about the fact that this is the end of the conversation? I mean, we're not really told much, but I'd assume that there was probably nothing much talked about. There was not really much Yuki needed to convey in terms of worry. She didn't really want to talk about it, which I really don't blame her. I mean, who would not be scared after? Who would not be scared and just wanting and just have the desire to forget about everything that has gone on in that day after that really, really odd occurrence of Takuji? Who wouldn't? Let's be honest. Really interesting. I wonder what they're practicing. She sounds so much like a parent here.
違います。ちゃんと起きるんです。
Those two disappeared into their house. Oh, it's been nothing but trouble. Yep, agreed. Even I was starting to get scared. Yeah, totally. Who wouldn't be? If you weren't starting to get scared, you would not be normal. What the hell is going on? Yeah, agreed. Right, what's going on now? Is it a pedo? God, why did I say that? Is it a stalker? Well, to be fair, a stalker is very likely a pedo, but not in every case, actually. Actually, maybe not in any case. In some cases, sure, but not in every case. I don't even know why I said that. Huh? Who's that? Someone was looking at me. What? That's... It's Takuji. What the fuck? Mamiya.
Yeah. 断りを学んでいるかい?
That's really weird. What was that sound effect? Did you hear that? It kind of sounded like electricity being zapped. Mamiya, yeah, have you been studying reason?
Mamiya, なんでこんな場所に?
Yeah, that's really odd. Mamiya, why are you here?
君は体の人なんだ。僕みたいに断りを学ばなければならない。
Interesting. You are a being of the flesh. You need to study reason, like me.
確かに君の体は賢い。断りを学ばなくても十分世界を知ることができる。
Yeah, in order to know what the true nature of this world is. I really do find it interesting that maybe Takuji has learnt the true nature of the world, so as a result of that, you and me and her, spoilers, but it's kind of like Miyuki when she gains control over the world. It's as if maybe him learning has somehow made it so that he can gain control of situations. I don't know. I don't know, that's just a bullshit argument. I don't know if I can accept or deny fantasy, that's the worst thing. And you're just so clueless. I mean, how did he quite literally... Well, the only thing is, I mean, if he's here, he has been following us for the entirety of the time we have been here. I don't really understand, and I don't understand what that electricity was as well. It could either be teleportation, which I wouldn't be surprised about. He can read our minds, so there may be an element of the supernatural in here. But also, it could be an indication of, if there's no supernatural, if he has followed us back home, it could maybe be some sort of weapon, like a taser? Or something, just a warning. Yeah, interesting, but why should we listen to him? I don't understand. You might even hit upon some consciousness that my reason has not. Yeah, but the only thing is I don't understand the consciousness he has understood. It's as if he's reached enlightenment, but at the same time, that implies that he's also reached derangement. I don't know. Well, not derangement, that's very far to go. But, let's just say mental instability. That's more appropriate. Because if he was deranged, he would have probably... No, not probably. He would have definitely killed Yuki already. He may even have killed himself. But you can't understand one such as me unless you study reason. Yeah, that's interesting. If you don't understand, you'll never even be able to imagine a higher consciousness. But why should Yuki listen to you? He's pissed. The dialectical staircase, what is that? Face towards higher consciousness. Ascend. That's interesting. So maybe people like Takuji, because of the fact that they have studied reason, they have higher consciousness. So then what they can do is they can control the people with lower consciousness. But what doesn't make sense is Zakuro. What level of consciousness does she have? And why did she kill herself? Is she a normal human being, or is she somebody who has maybe found the truth of the world? In other words, maybe her consciousness was so high that when she died, everything... I don't know, maybe it was like her consciousness was dependent on the world or something like that. Sorry, I meant the other way around, but yeah. Face towards higher consciousness. Ascend. Oh. What's happening? He's running? What? Hey, wait. Mamiya had yeah, that's so weird. That really is. Oh, so he is genuinely running? Or was that actual disappearance? He's faster than me. Yeah, was he always that fast? Was he? For a moment it felt... That's really weird. For a moment it felt as if an electric current had run through my brain. It was almost like a headache. That feeling... I was probably just tired. No, I think it's something to do with Takuji. Now, electric current, I mean, whenever you associate nervous impulses and activity of the brain, you always think of electricity. Could you imagine if there's something that Takuji can do that is so advanced that he can literally influence the way our brain works? But the only thing is, I mean, if he's done that, why hasn't he killed us already? Does he want to play a game with us? I think he probably does. But to be fair, if you think about really mentally ill people, some of them, they will definitely play games with other people. Oh my god, they will. This is quite literally the definition of your brain feeling tired. So, sorry, your brain feeling fried. What is the dialectical staircase, though? Oh god, we're studying reason, so as a result of that, we're going to get a higher level of consciousness. Please no. I don't want that. See dialectical motion. Oh yeah, this looks relevant. Let's look at this. Oh yeah, this is relevant. Oh god, this... That's odd. This kind of feels like the stage Takuji's at. Oh, that's really interesting. So this is cyclical. So let's try to give an example. Oh, so I suppose I'm born, I'm a child. Now I'm an adult, so you negate the fact that you are a child. And then the synthesis is you are not a child or an adult, but you are a whole person. And then you could think the thesis of that is potentially I am a whole person who is growing. And then the antithesis could be, I don't know how you deny that actually. I'm a person who's not growing. Maybe you could say I'm one who's growing physically, but then you could say I'm not growing physically, I'm growing spiritually. I don't know. And then the synthesis could be I'm growing physically and spiritually. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, but yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's really interesting. So it's a really quite unusual. Yeah. Interesting that it fixes on the other under pressure. And the distinction itself is the synthesis, but it thinks under pressure of the antithesis. Yeah, so I suppose this existence stuff could be depression related stuff. So you could think you're in the state of being, that's your initial thoughts, and when you want to think of an idea, you could initially think of you being in the state of a being, and then you rush to urgently think about the state of depression. So that's the state that Yuki's probably in. She's maybe in the antithesis stuff. She's you could link that to depression because of the fact that she just feels everything is becoming so much more awful in terms of how much more troubled the world is becoming. And also, hang on a sec, what's really quite relevant is the fact that these thoughts would never have happened, but she's feeling pressurized to think them because of her situation. So then she could mitigate between those, and then she could think that, well, I don't know, maybe she could compose Takuji's emotions and what he was trying to convey, and then she could go through the synthesis stage, which I suppose... I suppose you could think... It's really quite unusual. So I do wonder if maybe Takuji, if you applied this to the states of the world, so I suppose the thesis is the initial acceptance of the world that you are in, and then the antithesis is the doubt, which if you look at Takuji and his potential mental illness, you could definitely put an argument in for how somebody like that, somebody who has gone from so shy and quiet to someone that is, well, reaching the limit of the sky, really. Of course, you could think that he's maybe gone through the antithesis stage. And then, but the only thing is, I feel like with him, the state of depression has induced a state of synthesis, which, though it has made him more powerful, it's also probably led to madness. I don't know. I really do wonder if that could have some sort of relevance. Yeah, but that is interesting. I do see how that could relate. That's interesting. Yeah. But you go into that stage of synthesis, really, so that you could then have the possibility of going into a higher consciousness. Because I suppose in that stage of synthesis, you realise what human beings are and how you can control them. That's what I think. Because he has kind of controlled us. He has totally used words to manipulate us. But the only thing is, I also think it's possibly because of the headaches, and also because of because of headaches, because of manipulation, but also because of what was I going to say? I was going to say one more important thing. Teleportation as well. Going to the location we are in just to tell us something, no matter what the laws of the world are. It doesn't matter about creeping up on somebody. It doesn't matter about anything. He will do it if it's something that needs to be conveyed, which is very odd. It's just such an otherworldly aspect to the world we live in. It's as if he lives in this world, and yet at the same time he has no idea about the fact that he is in this world. It's as if the world is his own world, if I'm going to be honest. I was probably just tired. This is really... Agreed. Yeah, this is really turning into a strange day. Right, so I really do wonder. Oh, here we are. What's this? Is she... She's in her room. She's looking on her laptop at something. She's just chilling at the end of the day. I can never imagine looking at a laptop on a floor. I'd always look on my bed. Wait, no. Is that the sofa? I don't know. It looks like a sofa, but at the same time, it also looks like something you'd put over a piece of art to hide it from the public or something. Yeah. But isn't it interesting, studying being? Is that what he said? No, studying being? Reason. Yeah. Studying reason. That is interesting. But you are a being of the flesh. You need to study reason about your state of existence, really. But how does this relate to Zakuro, I wonder, I really do. First, I check my email. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was from Takuji. I see she has got a point. The gross one is probably from him. So, what, is she just instinctively putting it in the junk? Right. Yeah. I clicked the link in Yokoyama Kiyoshi. I remember this name because it was in the email. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Message. An email. Message. I went to the underground message board. Hello. Oh. Hello, this is the secretariat for the Kitahai message board, Sawayaka. You have received an invitation to the Sawayaka message board from Yokoyama Kiyoshi. Isn't that interesting? So if Yuki does anything bad, it will be... His name will be on it. Let's be honest. Message. Sup, this is Kiyoshi. Oh god, I love the emoticon. Oh my god. Sup, this is Kiyoshi. Here's the invitation you asked for. Go ahead and sign up. And don't forget about the party. A bunch of people from a certain famous college will be coming. Really? Wow. Wonder which college it will be. But the only thing is, I don't really think a party full of academics would be something that would really suit somebody like Yuki, but I don't know. We'll see. What a creepy message. Yeah, I see that. It seems very, very unusual from somebody who has just talked to you. Yeah, he's got a thing for us. He totally does. He is so gonna suffer the hardest rejection he has ever suffered in his life. Can I just mention that? It's hilarious. What a creepy message. So to register, I just need to click the link. This one, right? Could you imagine if she sent to a virus site? Or he just disguises the link to be something it's not, or he just does something really, really dodgy or bad or something, I don't know. Was it... No! Don't use your real name. Are you suicidal? Well, not that far. But do you have the death wish? Seriously, was it a good idea to use my real name? No, don't. Oh, but there was probably... Dude, I don't care. Don't use your real name. Oh, but there was probably an administrator. Yeah, good. Do that, yeah. Yeah, who cares? I can just make up a name and register. It should be fine as long as it didn't sound fake. Maybe I should use a real person's name. Oh god. Do an old person's name. Do a name of somebody who won't be likely to check the internet and know of Kitahai's underground message board. Maybe I should use a real person's name. How about Shibata Katsuya? Who is that? Oh my god. Why is somebody just getting entirely doxxed? Shibata Katsuya. My address is Owari province. Oh yeah, funny that. I like the reference. Yeah. Oh yeah, so Owari province, province of the end, Aichi district. I don't know what that is. Kamiyashiro village. Ah yes, God Shrine village. That sounds like such a fake address though. Aichi. What does Aichi in Japanese mean? I don't know that one. Right, let's see. Oh, Aichi is a prefecture, right? That is actually a real prefecture. What does the name mean? Oh, it's in Nagoya. Aichi, is that, Oh, so it literally means love and then wisdom. Wisdom of love? Oh, that's cool. I like that. This is the, kanji for... This is just my guess of what it means, but that's the kanji for I, and then that's, you know, Shiru's kanji, which with the on-yomi it could be read as chi. For example, in Higurashi you have chie, which uses the kanji for that. For the shiru verb. That's why I remember the on-yomi so well, I think. That's hilarious, but it's genuinely the reason. Oh, this is horrible, hang on. Yeah, it's still bad. No, this is weird. Actually, no, I'm going to move it back. God, I can never get my mind decided on this. Kamiyashiro village. Oh, date of birth, 2nd year of the Dai era. My age was automatically calculated. 487 years old, right? Oh my god. You're really, really going to pass off with that, Yuki? Sure. Then the login ID and password. She should tell us her password. Then it looked like I'd need to be approved by an administrator. Dude, why are you making your birthday 487 years old? I love that though. If the administrator checked for that name on the register, it might not get approved. Yeah, but then I could just register with some other student's information. Or I could even use my own if I want. Don't use your own. That's the last resort. Well, it's not a big deal either way. Ha. Okay, finished. Done. I collapsed on the... Oh yeah, I don't blame her. She's had a hard day. I'm really tired after all of that. Probably because I ran around so much today. Oh yeah, I don't blame her. But still, people were scared. Yokoyama's little sister. Oh yeah, I don't blame her for feeling a sense of responsibility. Yeah, Kagami and Tsukasa, they're worried about her. Yeah, Kagami and Tsukasa, and even me. We were all feeling anxious. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting stuff about Takuji. It could be completely mad, but at the same time it could also be maybe the key to realising this. The mind reading, I don't get that, and the teleportation. We knew it was a load of crap, but it was still frightening. Yeah. But I suppose that's what it means to be afraid. Let's see that. Oh, I better get to bed. What's happening now? Imagine if she sees Takuji in her dreams. Oh, interesting that everything's becoming gradually more pink. I really do wonder why that is. Wait, what? Oh my god, what was her order? I heard konbini, so could it be Some sort of convenience store order? I don't know what Japanese convenience stores have, actually. I mean, probably just the same as our convenience stores. Probably... Oh, I don't know. It's more derived from the American word. So I don't really know what Americans think of the difference between a convenience store and a supermarket. I'd assume it's just supermarket goods, though, so maybe she ordered breakfast or something. I don't know. Or maybe material, well, food, for later goings on, like dinner. Oh, what a pain, I'm late because the guy was so slow ringing up my order. Oh shit, I looked at the clock. Oh my god, you are fucking stupid. It was after 11, about the time when 4th period would be... 4th period starts at 11 for these guys. Dude, 4th period starts at 12:10 for us. I'm so jealous. Their school wastes no time. Yeah, there was obviously a train accident, obviously, 100%. Also because the train was so slow getting here, maybe? Or something like that? Though that still didn't explain all the lost time, did it? I was assaulted! Somebody tried to steal my bag! I was speeding on a motorway, or... I don't know. I can't think of anything. She's really gonna have to be crafty. My dog ate my homework for period 4, let's say, and I had to redo it. Because the shower took so long? Or something like that? Yes. Oh my god. No. There's no way she's actually going to say that to a teacher. I guess that's the reason I'm late. Well, at least she's come in time for 4th period. Oh, that's the bell. 3rd period is over. Oh boy. Good point. Yeah. To be honest, this is probably the best time to get to school. Just get before the second break. Why was I about to say this? Well, starts. Don't know what was going on with my head when I said that. I just barely made it. I made it to morning classes so I can just say my alarm clock didn't go off or something. Yeah, sure. What the fuck? Oh, Takuji. Oh, this is a red flag. Vertigo again. Isn't it interesting to think about the fact that the only time she has vertigo, or to be fair, the only time we are told that she has vertigo, is in school. She doesn't even feel bad. Subconsciously, she may be expecting something really, really bad, but at the same time, it's interesting that even though she doesn't visibly feel stressed, or she doesn't have stressed thoughts, I mean, look at how laid back she sounds here. Yeah, like seriously, she is ridiculously laid back. So I do wonder if it's some sort of subconscious or maybe instinctive reaction she has. But why? She's never even met Takuji, apart from a few times. Why would you develop that instinct? I mean, maybe that could be some sort of traumatic response, but I don't believe it. Lately, I've been feeling dizzy all the time. Maybe I really am sick. Oh, all the time? Yeah. I think she's kind of exaggerating that. I don't think she's been feeling dizzy all the time. She would be less composed and she'd be less happy and she'd be finding it less funny that she's got to school really late. Maybe I am really sick. What the fuck? Shut up. Huh? Jesus Christ. That was scary. This looks like Takuji though, but what's oh no, it's conflict starting from the rumours. Isn't it really funny to hear Kagami here being angry for something that's actually reasonable to be angry for? That's something that I never thought I'd hear. You're the one who needs to shut up. So this is Takuji, definitely, but what the fuck? Who? Yeah, he's a nasty person. Yeah. This is really ugly. Oh, you're one to talk, you little brat. Well, this is not a very productive argument. They're just hurling insults. But Takuji did start it But at the same time, I mean, it's only natural for somebody like Kagami to want to continue it.
悟りを開いた者に対してチビとは小さな人間はお前だ
Well, that doesn't... You may have reached true enlightenment, but at the same time, you are still in the human world, so play to the conforms of the human mind and human settlement, really. I mean, you can't just use that as an excuse. It's ridiculous. You dare say those words to somebody who is completely mad? Yes, we do. You dare say those words to one who has reached true enlightenment? You're a little brat. You're the little... Don't fucking say that. What's happening? Yeah, interesting. It looked like Kagami and Takuji were fighting. Yeah, isn't that really, really interesting? I do wonder how this began. And interesting to think about the fact that Takuji feels as if he has reached true enlightenment. My question is, can he read the thoughts of Kagami, or is it just our thoughts? Everybody's already scared as it is. Well, that's what you believe, but you don't seem the most sane, so why should other people believe you? I mean, to be fair, when you are really mentally ill, you make any justification in order to make it seem to yourself as if your behaviour is normalised. Like, for example, having reached quote-unquote true enlightenment. Nah, she's not going to get listened to. Wait, One-chan, calm down. You too, Mamiya-kun. Well, he definitely sounds very vicious, but at the same time, I mean, to be fair, he does sound composed here. These are the most nasty people. The ones that sound really, really composed, but at the same time have real threat and power in their voice, which is what he has at the moment, because Kagami's terrified, I'd assume, whereas Takuji, he's composed, and he's totally winning and steering the situation in his direction. That's what I kind of get the impression of what's happening. Yeah, I am calm. Aren't you the ones losing your calm? Yeah. Maybe, but could we please talk without raising our voices? Okay, even when I understand Subarashiki, this still will objectively be a raised voice. Or will it? I mean, the audio file will of course be the same, but at the same time I really wonder how my view of this statement will change when I understand everything. Sorry, let me just amend that sentence a bit. If I understand everything! I don't even know if I will, but I hope I do. I really hope I do. Yeah, I'm not raising my voice. It simply sounds that way because your ears are not capable of comprehending the truth entering them. That's really interesting. So if your ears could comprehend the truth, his voice, it wouldn't exactly be friendly, but it wouldn't be raised at the same time. That's really weird. God, look at how pissed off he looks. Yeah, I feel bad for this teacher, Ida. Yeah, everybody sit down. Class is starting. Wait, hang on a second. I didn't hear... Oh, alright. It's Yuki's voice. Yeah, that's why I didn't understand it. Mr. Ida, the world history teacher. Come on, why are you just standing around? Oh, yes, sir. Oh. Oh, God, was that? Oh, that was Tsukasa's line. Oh, God, I feel bad for her. Yeah, to be honest, I just feel like somebody like Takuji is way more scary than these people can really deal with. I don't blame them. He doesn't look sane at all. Interesting that he's finally started going to class now. Maybe, beforehand, the reason he skipped classes so much was because of the fact that he was always trying to search for the meaning. Maybe he was... Oh, I don't know. Anyone who is not sane, if they have a fantasy and they finally search for something... And usually when they can justify something that's awful, it's because their sanity is decreasing. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's sitting down, and he doesn't look very happy either. If you're in enlightenment, why are you still going to school? Why are you still conforming to what people have to do? Is it because of... Ooh, that could be because of parents. I mean, I don't know. Does he have parents? I'm sorry, but somebody like this, they do not have good parents. There's no way. Everyone sit down. Class is starting. Mamiya, why are you still standing? This is going to be fun. What's wrong? Quit spacing out and sit down. Do I look like I'm spacing out? Interesting. I'm surprised. I thought he would just totally begin and instinctively just shout at him. Yeah, do I look like I'm spacing out? Interesting that his grades have fallen far enough. That implies that at one point they were good. At one point, maybe he has been remotely normal. That's odd. Come on, Mamiya, your grades have fallen far enough. Would you quit asking stupid questions and sit down already? Oh, I'm impressed. You're seriously obeying him? A stupid question, is it? If you say so. Oh, never mind. I can't be genuinely impressed. Okay, class is starting. Turn to page 67. Today, we're covering the Roman Empire. Oh, boy. Mr. Ida. Something wrong? Or would you like me to let me start class already? What's wrong, Mamiya? Do you need to go to the bathroom? This is the properly bad thing. I mean, yeah, isn't it really quite funny to think about the fact that he is just feeling as if he's just forgotten about any obligations and any restraints that you should show within society. It does show mental instability. It really, really does. You really are one of the vulgar people. That's why you can't see the bigger picture. Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, he's just a history teacher, but the only thing is, yeah, it's just as if he feels everybody around him is competition. Everybody around him is a person you can play a game with. Yeah, this is really interesting. Did you say something, Mamiya? Oh, he didn't. I thought he said that a bit louder. Oh god, yep. Well, Ida, I'm sorry, but your class is never starting now that this has happened. Interesting that he's stirring up a rumour. But the only thing is, now that somebody like Takuji is saying it and he's verifying it, I mean, I get that he does seem very, very... Well, he's seeming like he's losing his sanity a significant amount. But at the same time, it's hard to deny that I have completely lost my trust in him. He does seem like a sort... I don't want to trust him. I would never trust somebody like this, but let's say I'll take what he says with a pinch of salt. It's odd. Yeah, you don't even know that it's all about to end. It's all about to end? What are you going on about now? Oh, look at him. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, for instance, if we were on a sinking ship, would you be standing at the boat reciting facts about the Roman Empire? Oh god. Oh, I feel really bad. I mean, I get that this is his job, but holy shit, he's just being made to feel like such a joke. But the only thing is, isn't it interesting to think about the fact that it's as if we are on a sinking ship, just because of how hopeless we are. It's inevitable that we are going to fall. The only reason we could get out is if we transcend consciousness itself, which for some reason Takuji feels as if he's done. Maybe these rumours have made him deranged. I don't know. Well, not deranged, sorry, losing sanity. What are you saying, Mamiya?
質問ですよ。質問。船が沈みゆくときに先生はどこか遠くの昔話を生徒たちに話すのですか?
It's a question. A question. Would you be talking about some trivia from thousands of years ago while the ship sank around you? History isn't just trivia, and this isn't a boat. It's a classroom and it's not sinking. Yeah. To be fair, it depends on how you use it. If you do nothing with a history qualification, I could see why somebody would make the argument of it being just trivia, because you just know facts that you're never going to use. But that could go with anything. That really could. To be honest, in a way, everything we learn is trivia. I don't know. Because I suppose trivia is just information that's useless and stuff you don't do about. Everything that we learn that we don't apply or don't do anything with is just trivia. In theory. I don't know though. Yeah.
なるほど。ここは船でもなく沈みもしない。
Oh god, this is gonna be fun.
過去を記述した歴史は昔話とは違う。
I see, it's not a boat, it's not a boat, and it's not sinking. Your description of a long dead emperors isn't just trivia. That's right. Well, Mamiya, have any more complaints?
不満なんてありませんよ。だって先生は低俗な人ですから。真実が見えないのは当然のことです。
He seems a bit sane to be able to see the truth. He seems a bit too sane. I have no complaints. It's rather obvious that a vulgar peasant such as yourself wouldn't be able to see the truth.
猫や犬が足し算引き算を理解しないからといって不満に思う人などいないでしょう。
Jesus. After all, no one complains that cats and dogs can't do arithmetic, do they? Mummy, are you feeling alright? Well, yeah, I mean, who's not going to think that he's lost his sanity? Mummy, are you feeling alright?
大丈夫？何を言ってるのですか？まず自分が大丈夫であるかどうかを心配したらどうですか？こんな時にこんなつまらないことをやっているのですから。
Feeling alright? Whatever you mean. Maybe you should ask that of yourself, the one doing something so meaningless at a time like this. It's interesting to think about the fact that the world is falling. Everything is crumbling apart. But he can see it and the other person can't. People just think it's rumours, whereas in Takuji's head, it is literal deterioration of the entire fucking world. What do you mean meaningless? Oh,
大体考えてもくださいよ。歴史なんて記述の束は悪魔が世界を10秒前に作り、我々に記憶を植え付けただけのものかもしれないですよ。
That's interesting. Yeah, please consider this. The world may have been created by a demon just 10 seconds ago, and everything we call history was planted on our heads by that demon. But the only thing is, what about the things that aren't planted in our heads? What about, for example, things that have never been discovered? If there are things that are undiscovered that have objectively happened, like for example archaeology, that's an idea that is objectively there, but at the same time hasn't been planted in our heads. Oh, wait, you can argue that because of the fact that we've discovered it. We have had the idea of us having discovered it being planted in our heads. So then that could justify it being planted in other people's heads. Okay, yeah, I like this. That's impossible. There are plenty of historical evidence that contradicts that idea. Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's no historical evidence that counteracts a higher being or a piece of a dimension that you can't see.
ならば、それも作り物かもしれない。
Yeah, fair.
悪魔によって偽装されたものかもしれない。
Well, it just totally seems like he's lost his grip on reality. Yeah, then maybe the demon made that too. Maybe it planted the historical evidence. God, I wonder what the class must be thinking. Mamiya, are you sure you're feeling alright? What's wrong? Yeah, he is feeling alright. This is normal. Yeah, good point. To be honest, I mean, I think a good example of this is religion. If you don't believe religion, you can't prove any of it. It could just be this. Even if it wasn't a demon, this textbook may simply be a collection of humanity's convenient rationalizations. Yeah, I see that. I really do see that. The only thing is, I mean, the world is going to end, and somebody like Takuji is in the world that is going to end. I don't understand how there could be something that's greater for him outside of the world if he is going to be one of the people in the world who is going to fall along with the rest of them. Or maybe he won't, because he has transcended human consciousness. Or at least that's what he feels. This is the thing. Maybe he's just deranged. Maybe he hasn't actually done anything. Or maybe there is some truth in what he's saying. And I say that because of the mind reading. Who's the class representative? Misa. Oh god, I feel bad. She's going to have a right nutcase to deal with. That's interesting, but why would they want to conceal them? That's my question. Who's the class rep? Me, sir. Oh, God, that's their homeroom teacher. Please go to the staff room and ask them to send Miss Kiyokawa. Yes, understood. The moment the class representative passed by Takuji. Jesus fucking Christ. To be fair, I mean, I get that this is horrible, but I just think this shows that he has no care for human beings. He feels a false sense of confidence about the fact that he is at the top and everybody else is just inferior. Remember that stuff about superior beings that was in the conversation with him and Yuki? Now, isn't that interesting? He doesn't want to be treated as somebody who's deranged, because let's be honest, the second this goes to anybody outside of the school, he's going to be put on meds. He's going to be put on... Not meds, actually. Let me rephrase that. Severe meds. Let's be honest here. Or there is just going to be something really wrong with him that they are going to diagnose, and then it's just going to be loads of things that are going to happen from there. So I suppose this is kind of a move for his survival. I can see why he's done this, even though it is obviously a horrible action. He pushed her violently and she crumpled to the floor. Yeah, God, what? I mean, what's he thinking? Mummy, are you... Yeah, this is going to get really It's going to get really ugly, you little... One-chan. Hakami stood defiantly in front of Mamiya. Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I mean, I get that you're getting really mad, and it's totally reasonable that she would want to do this. This is probably one of her friends. Or maybe even if it isn't, it's a member of her class. But, yeah. Yeah, just want to make somebody horrible really realise what they are doing. Kagami stood defiantly in front of Mamiya. Yeah, that's fair. What's wrong with you? How dare you hit a girl? I mean... Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see what Takuji's saying. I mean... But the only thing is, if he hit a boy, that would still be the same argument. I mean... I suppose you're just hitting a person. How dare you hit a person? Doesn't really matter whether she's... I mean, I suppose the gender is something that people... Well, people take it more seriously if you hit women. So, yeah, don't do it. Yeah, isn't that really funny that he thinks it doesn't matter? So he has basically done something that is so societally unacceptable. And now he is just saying that it doesn't even matter. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that you're doing this all, sitting here and playing along with this farce, when everything is about to end. It's absurd. Yeah, that's interesting, but the only thing is, he doesn't realise, these people don't realise what Takuji is realising, whether it's a delusion or if it's genuine, they don't realise. So of course, They think it's just a farce, whereas it may be reality. Who knows? Yeah, but the only thing is that's the really funny thing. If anything, basic human logic and reasoning makes it so that we are not able to comprehend maybe the goings-on of a higher dimension. Maybe this could be the higher dimension that is speaking to us here and changing and influencing our world, but we, as human beings, have been hard-coded just to not take any of it in, and our reasoning has been naturally made to contradict it. Every single person here has turned their back on the truth. Cut it out, Mamiya. Dude, you are a shit teacher. Why haven't you got somebody? He's literally... Well, to be fair, I forgot about the fact that he's got the class rep. But to be fair, he is an adult. He has to be there, because I feel like if somebody like Takuji was there without any adults, there would be... Well, it would be a lot more violent. I don't know, though. Well, to be fair, Takuji doesn't exactly care about who's there. These are just insignificant people who are idiots. There's an apocalypse coming, and yet they are doing nothing, even though they could have the potential to know and understand what's true. Cut it out, Mamiya. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just fell because he surprised me. Mummy, oh my fuck, you are an idiot. Why do you think somebody is going to apologise? It's going to be interesting to see his justification for why he shouldn't apologise. Mummy, I apologise. Why would I do that? Mummy, do you understand what you're saying? Well, the only thing is, this is the thing. He's in such a... Well, we think it's delusional, but at the same time, is it objectively delusional? Maybe in this situation, human beings, for not doing anything and having realistic human reasoning, are the people who are delusional because of the fact that we're not doing anything in the event of an upcoming disaster. It all depends on whether this rumour is true or not. But the only thing is, we're not the delusional ones, Mamiya is. But at the same time, it's just... Well, okay, let's look at it like this. We're following our reasoning. We are following our reasoning as human beings, all of these people here. So we're not delusional, we're rational. But Takuji could also be argued. It could be argued to some extent, like just a tiny bit, that Takuji is a bit rational here. It all depends on whether the end of the world happens or not. If it does happen, yeah, maybe. If it doesn't, then no, not at all. Mamiya, do you understand what you're saying? What do you mean the world is ending? I heard a lot of the students have been scared of something lately. Are you the one spreading those rumours? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Totally. Yeah. I don't think it's unlikely that Takuji would be somebody who would have the lack of restraint required to take photos of somebody who, well, 3 people who have just suicided. I really wouldn't be surprised. It means the world is ending, that's all. Yeah, and isn't it interesting to think about that? He doesn't even answer that, he just answers the most important parts about the fact that the world is ending. The end of everything. You could call it the final destination. Yeah. It's no rumour. It's merely the truth. The fact that the world is going to a final destination and soon it will end. Yeah. But, yeah. It's as if the world is travelling. Or events are travelling. And there's a destination they're going to. Destination implies a journey. What's the journey that's being had, I wonder? Maybe that's just a ridiculous question, but still. I don't know, I would be interested if that's relevant. It's no rumour, it's merely the truth. God, you are a weak human being. A small human being. And therefore, you cannot even lay eyes on me. God, look at him. Mamiya, come over here. Oh. Wait,
暴
this
力で
is...
来るのですか
Hang on a sec. Oh, yeah, that's I like that. A nice little criticism of humanity there, but is he really going to hit people? I mean, does that still happen in 2012? Or use any sort of violence? So you intend to use violence because you can't win with logic? Oh my... What the fuck happened? Huh? What happened? Yeah! No one could understand what had just happened. What the hell? Just that a loud sound echoed through the classroom, and then the teacher fell down, covered in blood. We were too confused to understand that Mamiya had just struck him with a flower vase. How the fuck did he get a flower vase? I don't understand.
あれ
Is that Zakudo's flower vase?
これメール通りじゃない
Really? It's just like the emails.
メール
Email? That word seemed out of place, but before I could ask what she meant... Yeah, I think the subject's going to be... It's going to be a little bit diverted now. Yeah, it's fucked. He's probably either knocked him unconscious or maybe he's even killed him. But isn't it interesting? I mean, a flower vase hit so powerfully that blood could form on this person, and in such a fast amount of time as well. That's another indication that Takuji really is someone off-world. Someone screamed, sending the rest of the class into a panic. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't believe this. Is he actually going to murder? Well, he has probably just murdered this teacher. What just... Yeah, God. I mean, isn't that really quite something? I mean, he just sees no meaning in the life of these really inferior beings who don't know the truth. If you learn the truth, you gain... It's as if you gain admin powers. Like, seriously. Is he dead? They made a lot of noise over the collapsed teacher. Yeah. I don't blame them. I mean, he could do anything. He's completely lost it in every respect. Yeah, they made a lot of noise over the collapsed teacher, but no one did anything to Mamiya Takuji except sneak glances from the corner of their eyes. Yeah, fair. Because they were afraid of him? Because they believe they mustn't look at his face? Oh, yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, look at how insane he looks. God. Like I said before, isn't it funny to think about the fact that we never saw Takuji in the dream world? Yeah, that really was something that foreshadowed a lot. That's really unusual about the flower vase and how he is basically just... He's just pulled a Sakuya from Toho. You know, just literally stopping time in order to execute his attack. It's so weird. I don't get why he has so much power and control over the human world. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course he would. He'd love the attention. Yeah, but Mamiya Takuji simply stood there and smiled.
みんなどうしたのですか
Yeah.
えらく怯えているではないですか
And isn't it really interesting whenever these people are having these ridiculous ideals and they feel they are going up against other people, they just feel so composed. Isn't that interesting that they just don't have any feelings that normally would be similar to the ones that... You know, let's say if a normal person did something like this, I feel like they'd definitely be having a racing heart. They would be they would have no composure whatsoever. But that's the thing. That's why he's so insane. He has composure. Who would have thought somebody is insane for having composure? It's just such a contradiction, but at the same time, it's realistic. Oh yeah, of course they're awfully scared of something. Yeah, he's bleeding. Yeah, they should, yeah. One-chan, we have to help him. Oh, God. Jesus fucking Christ, why is he so strong? When Tsukasa tried to go over to the teacher, Takuji threw her to the side. Dude, what the fuck did she ever do? Jesus fucking hell. This must be so horrible to watch. She fell to the ground. Oh, God. Mamiya Takuji, you son of a... Oh, if it isn't Minakami-san. I really wonder what... Oh yeah, isn't it interesting about Ayana and the shadow image? Ayana knows more about this. I really, really want to see a conversation between Ayana and Takuji. Mamiya Takuji, you son of a... Well, if it isn't Minakami-san. It would appear you're no better than the rest of the poor little lambs here. Well, yeah, but the only thing is, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that is insanely important here is if... Well, the only thing that is really important with regards to Takuji is... what he is doing. The actions he is doing in this classroom, really. It doesn't matter about his ideals. Why would you want to understand the ideals of somebody who is completely deadly and deranged? Yeah, you're hard to stick with it. Of course it is. You're just showing a standard human response. But that's the thing. He's broken the standard laws of humanity, really. And that's why he's so irregular. Yeah. Being tormented for being normal. You should just stand back and watch in fear, like you've been doing. What? Well, what about you? And then you shall feel the flames of hell licking at your flesh. Mamiya. Well, I do wonder what would happen if that occurred. What, are you gonna hit me? Interesting. You're gonna bully me just like Yuki, Tomosane, and the rest of humanity have. Oh, I really do wonder who Yuki Tomosane is. Maybe that's why this person is so damaged. But isn't that really interesting? It reminds me of Zakudou, actually, because Zakudou was somebody who'd really been bullied, maybe so much so that she suicided. Rather than Zakudou, maybe he's been bullied so much that he's gone to derangement. Yeah, that's interesting. Why does he feel as if the rest of humanity have bullied him, though? Maybe it's really bad parenting? Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, but the only thing is she kind of can't help not watching in fear. I mean, she is physically declining. Again, what's this feeling? Yeah, but isn't that really interesting? It's just as if you are trying to comprehend a higher dimension. But why do you only get that feeling? Why does nobody else get it if that's the case? When I was near Mamiya, I got dizzy. Maybe that's why Yuki has potential. I don't know. Why did it keep happening? Oh, shit. There's Takuji. Oh my god, he looks like he's just trying to become Jesus Christ here. Yeah, oh my god, this CG. Holy shit, this CG is the one that everybody shows you whenever you talk about Subarashiki Hibi for the first time. Oh my god, yeah. Mark my words, all ye who quiver in fear. Interesting. Yeah, all life shall end on the 20th. That is the absolute truth. Yeah, I really do wonder why they died. I think it's a murder. I really wouldn't be surprised. Both Shiroyama and Takashima died for this truth. Death. That is the message of prophecy. Yeah, the prophecy of the world ending. But the only thing is, I don't really. Well, it's just a little bit of a. It's just a bit of a foreshadowing for what's to come.
真実なのだ。
Death. That is the absolute truth.
なぜ死は予言への明言足りえる
Yeah, yeah, really good question. Yeah, why is death the message that leads to prophecy?
愚劣な者は死を隠そうとするのだ。
Because the foolish attempt to conceal death.
だからこそ、隠されたものによって語られなければならない。
So we must speak of that which is concealed.
死を隠すもの。それは第一に教育、第二にマスメディア。
That which conceals death. The first is education. The second is the media.
この国のように学校教育が極めて高度に普及し、マスメディアも世界最高基準にまで巨大化している社会では。
Yeah, sure. In countries such as this, mandatory education has become commonplace. In our society, the media has swelled and transformed into the highest authority in the world.
我々は公教育とマスメディアによって多くの禁忌を植え付けられている。
Yeah, I do see that. I mean, what he's probably thinking is that the fact that all of the ideals and theories and discoveries that education has been planting into our heads, because obviously we have to go through it and it's mandatory. It's actually really interesting now that we think about it. God, but yeah, those ideas that have been planted through our heads are all wrong and they're ridiculous. But the only thing is, they're right if your world and your perspective is only the human world and the third dimension. If it isn't, maybe that's where everything gets odd. Yeah, we have a host of taboos implanted into our mind by public education and through the mass media. Through the mass media, totally.
その最大の禁忌とはすなわち死を考えること。
Interesting. The greatest taboo of all is to think upon death, but the only thing is people aren't doing it. I mean, if the world was sort of in the same ideal as Takuji's was, everybody would be thinking upon their death.
我々は死を考えることを置き去りにし、あたかもこの日常が
Oh,
永
okay,
遠に
yeah,
続くかの
yeah,
ごとく
yeah,
に
I
振
see
り舞
that
う
now.
ことを強制する。
God, look at how cold he sounds. We have to put aside any thought of death. We were obliged to act as if our daily lives will continue for eternity. No, but I see that. I mean, why would you not? Why would you not waste your why would you not? Well, to be fair, I mean, if you don't, you will lead to the decline of your life. But the only thing is, I mean, if we don't really have any choice, because of how little time there is left, so consider. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell. God, can you not slip out my can? Yeah, I love this one. I really fucking love this. Jesus. Why is that really... I'm just lucky I didn't get my water anywhere.
なぜならば死の不条理さの前では全てが無力であり、全てが無意味だからである。
I see that, yeah. Yeah, and the reason is because everything is powerless and everything is meaningless before the unreasoning spectre of death.
だからこそ教育は、マスメディアは死を、本当の意味での死を覆い隠そうとする。
That's why education and the media try to disguise the true meaning of death.
彼らが我々に示す死とは対岸のもの、我々には関係のないもの。あくまでも自らに降りかからないからこそ楽しめる玩具のごとき死でしかない。
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, yeah. The death they intimidate to us is but a phantasm on the far shores, something with which we have no relation. Yeah, I see that. It has been reduced to a mere toy, something you can enjoy without worrying that it may ever stray. No, I can totally see that. I mean, especially with education, I think more learning about the deaths of anything that has ever happened. I mean, especially historical events. I suppose you could just always think, these deaths that have happened to past people, I'm sure they're not going to happen to me. So as a result of that, I need to live my life as if every day is going to eternally continue. And you need to live your life as if every day is not going to be the last. You never know when the last day of your life is going to be from. Oh, we know it could be tomorrow. But the only thing is, you can't live with a mindset like that because, ironically enough, if you listen to Takuji's fears, well, not really fears, but if you listen to his teachings in a way, even though they're completely mad, you will go mad yourself. You can't just live in fear of death.
だが、誰でも知っている事実として、
Yeah.
死は
Yeah, I
全
agree.
て
Yeah.
のものに寄り添うもの。
That's kind of the worst thing about
人
this.
はリアルそのものである。
Everything Takuji is saying is the complete truth here. It's just another way of thinking about the world, really. It doesn't even matter whether there's some deadly apocalypse that's coming on the 20th. It's just this. Yeah. Yeah, but it just applies to death in general, really. But the reality that everybody knows is that every single day, death creeps ever closer to all people on the planet. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, death is what reality is. So, Mummy, are you... God. Yeah, I feel bad for Ida having to teach somebody like this. Jesus Christ. Mr. Ida. Yeah, that's really good though. Yeah, funny that nobody's listening to Takuji. They would happily interrupt him and his talk. He's okay. You're wrong.
何が間違っているのですか?
That's interesting. Yeah, no. I feel like Ida, what he's probably going to do now, he's probably going to set a good example for his students and make it so that they won't conform to the ridiculous ideologies of a madman. Let's be honest, he is mad. He really is. But at the same time, I hate this. He is mad, but what he's saying here, in my opinion, is actually very reasonable. Yeah, but this is awful. I mean, could you imagine if he's just saying this because of instinct and how much you could potentially be disrespecting the truth about them? Such a horrible thing to do. Well, I suppose that's actually really quite interesting because death is the message that leads to prophecy, because I suppose the prophecy of anybody's life is death. So death is inevitable. And there's a foolish attempt to... Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, totally. And if anything, I think after reading this, it kind of strengthens your resistance and your lack of will to believe in the ideals of Takuji, just because it's just so awful. It's such an awful and unhealthy way to think, and he's imposing that on everyone in that room. What have I said that's wrong? That religious nonsense, you... Well, it's interesting that he's just dismissing it over pure religion. It's not just religion. Well, I suppose stuff about prophecy. Did you hear that? Yeah, you comment on that, yeah. just now, this man called my thoughts religious
あ
nonsense.
たかも吉じみたとでも言いたげに
Oh, so that's a reference to something. Yeah, as if to say I was a madman. No, I think it's very true. It's just somebody who has been lost in some sort of religious belief, and I could see why, with prophecies, that could be the case. But at the same time, I mean, I think if you properly reason out, especially the stuff in the beginning, and, you know, the concealment of death and how death is concealed, I think it's all logically something that makes sense. But obviously not this. I don't know if that logically makes sense. So that yet our attempt to conceal death by making it so that we feel as if it's something we see every day, maybe we even enjoy, and we feel it's never going to happen to us because we live every day in with the ideals of treating our lives as if they are going to act forever. It's true though, we do, because we know nothing else other than our life, so we should act as if it's going to happen forever. But I suppose because of our desire to conceal death like that, it leads to prophecy. I'm just finding it kind of to think about why. I suppose if the prophecy of the end of the world is occurring, death is the one thing that tells us, it lifts the veil from all of the concealment that has been happening. So then once that veil is lifted from the concealment, we can either believe in that concealment even more by using our human judgment, or that can maybe let us see the bigger picture. That's wrong.
違うものですか死を考えること死生学を数千年やってきたのが宗教ではありませんか
Yeah, funny that he's
刑事
talking
上
about
学ではございませ
metaphysics.
んか
Am I wrong? To ponder upon death, has religion not advanced thought on mortality for the past several thousand years? Has metaphysics not?
「つまり宗教じみている」「死を考えることは先生にとって気がじみているという意味ではないのですか
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Yeah, in other words, that which reeks of religion, the action of contemplating death, seems to him the action of a madman. Am I wrong? No, I totally see that. You're wrong, you sound like a cult. I mean, he is just biased, but it's really, really hard not to be biased in the situation he is in. And let's be honest, who should listen to somebody like this because of how much he has done? He doesn't deserve to be listened to. I mean, the only reason why I'm listening to him is just because I'm just objectively listening to what he's saying. Obviously, if I was in the room that these people were in, I would obviously have a real bias to Takuji. I just think that he's totally mad, but he is saying some things that are scarily reasonable.
「はてこれはキーなことをおっしゃります」「私のどんな考えが狂ったように感じられるのですか
Well, if there is nothing that is going on, these are your ideals of life, and these are your views. To live by that is one of the most unhealthy things. To live by that and to believe by that and then to impose it on other people, it's unhealthy. But at the same time, unhealthy doesn't necessarily equate to crazy. But at the same time, his actions before would totally hint at somebody who's crazy. The reason why it's crazy also is because you're saying this in front of a whole bunch of people. You really don't care about the audience. If anything, he probably loves it. Oh really, what a strange thing you've just said. What part of what I'm saying seems crazy to you? I don't know, but yeah, funny that. He's just totally shocked. I don't blame him.
私からしたら、あなたこそ常識というくだらない競技を狂ったように信じているみたいに見えますよ。
If you ask me, it seems like you have unfounded conviction for that dogma which you call common sense. Yeah, but the only thing is it's interesting because he just thinks normal common sense is wrong, and he feels as if everybody should convert to his common sense. He feels as if he is the most important person in the world. Ego 1000. Yeah, what are you talking about?
自分が理解できないものに今日のレッテルを貼らずにはいられない。
Yeah, that's really true,
自
though.
分が信じる常識が覆るような考えは。
Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, I think this is actually really, really realistic. Yeah, you can't resist attaching the label crazy to that which you cannot understand. You declare anything which would overthrow your common sense to be the words of a man. I think this is... I hate to be saying something, but I actually think he has a point here, and I think this is a real... It's a really reasonable reflection on society. I'm gonna be honest, there are some things that... I'm gonna be honest, I'm just finding Takuji's perspective really interesting to read about, because not all of it is completely ridiculous. And this is the funny thing about Takuji's perspective. It sounds mad, and it sounds ridiculously unhealthy, but the thing is, it's full of things that you would think are realistic, and they're logical as well. They're not just incoherent thoughts that are slapped together. No, these are all logical, and they logically flow, and they just have... They have connection, and they have reason. All of them do. You can tell that this is something he has been thinking about for ages. Or at least that's just my opinion. So I get that obviously he's really not sane, but at the same time his thoughts, I mean, it's as if maybe he's one of these people who are really insane because of the fact that they have insane ideals. I don't know. But what I'm just trying to say, I mean, I get that these thoughts are completely in an unhealthy way, and they are obviously really detrimental to him, but also everybody around him. But at the same time, I mean, stuff like this, it proves that he is incredibly intellectual, and he does have a brain, he's just using it for all the wrong... Well, it's just really getting the worst of him here, if you ask me. Yeah. You're twisting my words, Mamiya. You... No, he isn't. He isn't. He isn't. Please, someone call the homeroom teacher. Someone. Yeah, God, no, I don't blame them, because Takuji could do something to them. They're scared for their safety. They really are. I think one of them should just make a dash for it. But look at how many students he's assaulted. He's assaulted, well, Tsukasa, the class rep. The teacher, he literally made him unconscious with that vase. Whose vase, by the way? I'll be really interested to find out. Imagine if it was Zakudo's, and he was just carrying that, obviously with the flowers emptied out. Interesting that Takuji's name was there. Yeah, no, I don't blame them, yeah. And it's interesting, just people... It really is funny to think about the fact that because of the fact that Takuji is the one that's #1 in the room, he really feels as... I think the students just being in the statuary state that they're in right now, that really add reinforcement to the ideals that are just wrong that he has. Every person in the room was dominated by the atmosphere. Oh shit, what's he gonna do? Interesting. Yeah, I do see that. I mean, when it says taboo, I suppose, of course, death is a sensitive topic, so I suppose it is kind of like a taboo to talk about it in public, or just talk about it in a common place. Really. Or just talk about it because you're being considerate of other people. Yeah, modern society has reduced death to an abstraction. Yeah, it's a society that views death as a taboo. If you think about an abstraction, it's just an unnecessary detail that can just be something that is something you get rid of.
それが正しいなどと思うのは考える体を持ち合わせていない奴隷の言葉だ。
The only ones who could speak of that as correct are slaves who have not even had the capacity to think.
なぜならば前近代において死は最も重大な施策の対象であったではないか。
In previous generations, death was the most important subject of philosophical thought, was it not?
死こそ施策の最大の関心事ではなかったか。
Was death not the matter of utmost concern? Yeah, I mean, of course it would be, but as healthcare has advanced and as everything in the world has got more and more advanced in general, really, as quality of life has improved, we have had less need to worry about death, to be honest. But at the same time, that's just on a collective level. We've had fewer health problems, we've had fewer bad things happening with our body because of that. But at the same time, it really depends on the person. It just depends on whether they're ill or not, or they've had some sort of accident, or if they're near death.
にもかかわらず近代に成立した政治社会思想は あたかも我々には無縁の事態がごとく振る舞った。
Yeah, and despite that, modern governments and societies have treated it as if it is irrelevant to our lives. Yeah, no, I do totally see that. I mean, look at anything. Look at, okay, really unusual example, but look at, for example, actually, could I use this example? Hang on, let me just think. Yeah, I suppose, nah, I'm gonna use a different example, it's a bit crap. But, yeah, I suppose any secret mission or any confidential stuff where governments do actually have people who are killed and murders are concealed, yeah, it's as if death is just completely irrelevant because they can commit it. But I don't, that's obviously not what Takuji's trying to say.
あなたが二人の死に自分勝手な意味を与えている。
Yeah, that's interesting what Kakami's saying. To be fair, I think if you're just talking in general, it's reasonable, but a lot of this stuff is awful because of the fact that he's talking about other people who have genuinely died, and, you know, he's really, really upsetting people who may be close. He's not thinking, oh, he's just using his selfish reasoning. He is, yeah, that's a really good point. He is projecting his reasoning onto others. It's not something that should happen. Yeah, I like that. But of course. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, you're labeling their deaths with your own selfish reasoning. Yeah.
自分勝手とは
It is, of course. Yeah, selfish, you
へ
say.
りくつという意味。全然デタラメと言ってるのよ。
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realise that. I'll have to research that. It's sophistry, it's complete nonsense.
世の中が死を隠しているというご考説は、まあどっかで聞いたことあるような話だからいいとしても、それと二人の死が何か表しているというのは飛躍以外の何者でもないわ。
Yeah, you've got a good point. Yeah, I've heard I've heard that theory about society covering up death before. Yeah, no, totally, and I think it is a very reasonable one. Let's say you're right about that one. Yeah. Even then, what you're saying about those two deaths signifying something is nothing but fabrication. This is the worst thing. How do you necessarily know that? But at the same time, you could then use that argument for Takuji, so yeah, I agree.
というよりもデタラメ。というよりも妄想。
Yeah, it's nonsense. A delusion.
なるほど。なかなか手強いバイタだ。
Jesus fucking Christ. I see, you're pretty smart for a whore.
だからバイタってやめなさいよ。
Yeah, stop calling me that.
君はこう言いたいのであろう。僕が示した彼らの死
Yeah,
の
what is the proof though? Yeah.
それが真なる命題であることを、それを実証しろと。
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you're making something that's ridiculous and you're labeling these people's deaths with your own selfish ideals and you are talking so disrespectfully, you don't even care about the fact that there may be somebody, I don't know, for example, who's close to, I don't know, maybe not Zakudor, but Shiroyama, for example. I really wonder what somebody like Ayana would think of this. So I was reading manga with Shameiru Aya from Toho today, so I'm not used to saying Ayana. Feels weird. Yeah, you want me to show you proof that the meaning I've claimed from their for their death is veracious.
実証？バカじゃない？実証なんてできるようなものじゃないでしょ。誰がどう考えてもあんたが言ってることは妄想なんだから。
I wonder. I suppose this is what you're trying to say. You want me to show you proof that the meaning of claim from their death is veracious. Proof? Are you stupid? There's nothing you could show us that would prove that. After all, no matter how you look at it, you're just spouting fantasies.
そうだ。君は嘘科学と科学をどう判別するか知ってるかい？
Wait, did that say Usogaku?
もうそうね。そうだ。君は嘘科学と科学をどう
Oh, it said Usogaku. Right, I don't know what is it? Charlatanry? Yeah. What is it? Oh, that's interesting, right. Charlatanry is basically the act of falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or a skill. You differentiate between it because of proof and it applying to many scenarios. Funny that I said differentiate that. Yeah, let's look at calculus. I mean, you can use stuff like that in so many different scenarios. If you could only use it in one scenario and you couldn't use it anywhere else, why would it necessarily be something that's genuine? Obviously, the scenario you're using it in has to be correct. But yeah, I suppose. Like I suppose with maths concepts like that, if you can't apply them, they could have the possibility of being wrong. I don't know if that's a good argument, actually. Actually, I don't think it would be. But I suppose you differentiate between them because you can replicate knowledge. I don't know. You can replicate knowledge in certain situations and it will all go correctly if it is genuine. Yeah.
嘘科学と科学？
Science and charlatry.
そう。ペテンと真理を
Yeah.
どう判別するかだよ。
Yes, how would one differentiate science from pseudoscience?
ペテンはペテン。それ以外の何者でもないわよ。
But this is what Takuji is trying to say. How would you know that it's obvious? You just know what you know. You don't think about what's fake. Is that it? But the only thing is, what we know has been defined by scientists because multiple people have combined their theories and they have combined tests and proof to show that whatever is occurring is genuine.
それではデタラメだよ。ペテンはペテンだ。なんて
Agreed.
命題は
Yeah.
何も語っていない。
Yeah, that's true. You can't just say it's obvious that X is Y when that statement has no logical basis. Yeah.
ペテンと真理の差。それは新規な予言があるかどうかだよ。
Oh, that's reasonable, yeah. The difference between science and pseudoscience lies in whether or not the theory makes novel predictions. I just instinctively thought of volcanic predictions and any sort of measures of, I don't know, seismicity or just any measures of the fact that there will be a volcanic eruption that's beginning to occur.
気な予言?
Novel predictions. No, I don't know though. Let's say, for example, with climate change predictions, like they're predicting by 21st century sea level is going to rise by 0.6 meters apparently. Like global sea level is going to rise that much. But the only thing is, what if there is something that can't be fully predicted by any means whatsoever that happens? What if there is something that is completely odd, a complete phenomena, a complete anomaly that nobody knows about? Because you can't factor out the existence of some sort of anomaly like that. If something like that occurs, then even though that scientific estimate has been made with informed and accurate to the time estimates, are you saying it's pseudoscience? Because, well, I suppose no, that's actually really interesting. So I think after the anomaly happened, it would become pseudoscience, but before that, I don't think it would be. That's what I think.
予言というと少し宗教じみてるね。簡単に言えば、傍から見たらキーに見える予言だが、その理論から導き出せる正しい予想のことだよ。
Yeah, that's interesting. So he's basically saying as if these, what? So if you make a new concept, for example, Zakudor dying, that will then lead to that will then have the novel prediction because it is objectively true that the world will end. So that death was objectively trying to signify the end of the world. But the only thing is, how do you know it's an objective prediction? The end of the world hasn't happened yet. How can you actually justify your argument? The word prediction sounds almost religious, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah, the Mayans in 2012. To put it simply, a novel prediction is a truthful prediction that may appear strange to the layman, but can be derived from theory. Yeah, reasonable.
アインシュタインは多くの予言をした。ブラックホールや空間の歪み。それは彼の相対性理論から導き出された答えだ。
Oh yeah, Einstein made many predictions. Black holes, the curvature of space. Oh yeah, I remember. I swear I've heard something about that, yeah. Curvature of space, those predictions are derived from his theory of relativity. Oh yeah. I've only really learnt about relativistic mass, but yeah, we'll probably do more of those soon.
その理論を理解できぬ者には、それはとてもキーな予言のように思
Of
えたであろう。
course! Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, to the people who couldn't understand his theory, they seemed like very strange prediction. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
それは全て的中した。
Because they had an objective
それ
basis.
がなぜだかわかるかい？
Yeah, but they were all correct. Do you know why?
その考えが正しかったら
If his theory was correct.
そう。相対性理論は正しかった。
Yeah.
だからその正しい説明原理から正しい予言が導き出される。
Yes, the theory of relativity was correct, so he was able to derive correct predictions from
つ
it.
まり僕の頭の中にある理論、
Yeah,
そいつから導き出される予言、
I see that.
それが当たればいいわけだ。
Actually, I disagree. What if it's a wrong theory that just by coincidence the predictions have been correct? What if there is that one very, very unlikely scenario where a wrong theory has predicted something correct? I wonder if that could happen. I mean, it may have, but I don't know, it just feels like something that's really unlikely to happen. Yeah. In other words, if the predictions I make based on my theory, if those predictions become true, then my theory is correct.
予言
Predictions?
だから僕はこれからいくつかの
Oh yeah, that's gonna
新
be
規な予言をす
interesting.
るよ。
Therefore, I shall now make several novel
その
predictions.
予言が的中するたびに君は恐れおののくがいいさ。
And as they bear fruit, one by one, you will all quiver with fear.
僕の正しさ。
You will see that I am correct.
何を馬鹿げたことを
Well, yeah, because you're biased. I want to hear him out.
私を生まれ変わらせるために神があの二人を煮えとした。
What? This is bullshit. You could say anything and you link it to the end of the world and anything mad, but at the same time, if the end of the world happens, that makes it true. You could say, for example, Mamiya Takuji's name is not Mamiya Takuji. No, actually, let's say, here's a better example. We could say Mamiya Takuji is actually a female. If the end of the world happens, boom, that theory is true. You could say anything and twist it, and then it would become true because of the fact that the end of the world was becoming true. Sort of like what I was saying about the false theories leading to a true prediction. You could use this as an opportunity to twist so much. But the only thing is, I'm genuinely curious, what would he gain from that? What does he gain from any of this? What does he gain from any of this awareness? Is it understanding? Is it maybe the desire to seek an individual that's like him? But that's really, really unusual though. Who the fuck is God? Like, genuinely, yeah, God sacrificed these two so that I could be reborn.
一人は白山翼、
Oh, it's Tsubasa.
もう一人は
Their name.
高島ザクロ。この二人は私が生まれ変わるために神が煮えとした。
It really is unusual, this. I mean, who is this reborn thing? Maybe this is some sort of really mad personality that Takuji has had, but the only problem is he's always had this potential personality. So maybe that's why he has been, I don't know, maybe that's why he's been reborn, or that's why it's been described. The first was Shiroyama Tsubasa, and the second was Takashima Zakuro. God sacrificed them so that I could be reborn.
私は生まれ変わった。
I've been reborn. But what's going to happen at the end of the world
何
then?
に？
As what? As a monster?
救世主に。
Fuck off. How are you going to save it? I mean, you're saying everything about these predictions. You're not entirely saying about what you're going to do about them.
そう、救世主にだ。
Yes, it's the savior.
世界はあと5日で終わる。
Yeah, the world will end in 5 days.
しかし、それは兆しだ。
Oh, that's interesting, but that is an omen of greater things. What's going to happen then?
世界が生まれ変わるための。
Reasonable, yeah. Yeah, and ironically, we did actually see this last time in the ending with Zakuro, obviously. An omen that the world will be reborn.
救われない者は古い世界と共に永久に地獄の豪華に焼かれる。
Those not saved, along with the old world, will fall into the depths of hell to suffer for eternity. But the only thing is, why do you necessarily believe that you're going to be saved? I don't get it. Yeah, you may have transcended consciousness. You may feel as if you are the anomaly that has deviated from the norm of humanity's thoughts, really. Why does that mean you're going to be saved? Why does that not mean that you are going to be included in this mess?
未来永劫に続く苦しみだ。
And it's legacy of torment.
みんな知っているだろう。
Everyone knows.
世界が嘘で満ちていることを、そして真実は隠されていることを。
That the world is pervaded by lies. That the truth is hidden.
愚者は平等という。
The foolish speak of it. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I suppose people can make out equality happens, whereas if equality always happened, there would be so many problems in the world that would not be here, really. I mean, even in countries that make out they are very, very good in terms of dealing with equality, still have faults. Yeah, this foolish speak of
し
equality.
かしみんな知っている。世界が平等でないことを。
Yeah, no, I totally see that. Yeah, but everybody knows that the world is not equal.
愚者は自由という。
The foolish speak of freedom.
しかしみんな知っている。世界に自由がないことを。
Yeah, I see that because of death. Yeah, such a bad way to think. When are you ever going to be able to relax if you're always waiting for the apocalypse? Yeah, but everybody knows that there is no freedom in the
愚者
world.
は愛という。
This is going to be interesting. The foolish speak of love.
しかしみんな知っている。愛が人を裏切ることを。
It doesn't necessarily have to be. What makes him think that? A bad love is traitorous. It's his experience, and that may lead us to thinking that he could have potentially had love with Sakura. I think this is an impression that's distorted based on his views. These are all told from his views. Yeah, the foolish, the people that are below me. Yeah. There's no freedom. Maybe that's what he feels. Maybe he feels constant torment. I mean, even before, quote unquote, God resurrected, and that was what allowed Takuji, the being of higher consciousness than human beings, to be reborn. Even before that happened, he probably did still have such a lack of freedom, because let's be honest, somebody like Takuji, they have not had good parents, and also, you know, they've been really shy. I mean, I know how fucking awful it is to be shy. Yeah, maybe this is something that we can infer stuff from as well. Oh god, the foolish say that you must not kill. I mean, yeah, understandable, but at the same time, you mustn't kill. Of course there are people that have done killing, but they're making it prevent... Well, yeah, I do see that, actually. I mean, you can't do something, and yet there have been loads of people that have done the thing that you must not have done. But the only thing is, funnily enough, unless you've got away with murder, which is very, very hard to do, you will have suffered consequences, and your life would have been ruined, possibly, because of prison. So, of course, it makes sense that you must not do it, because even though there can be people who have done it in the world, they will suffer to still be in the world because of their crime. The foolish say that you must not lie. Everybody's done it. Yeah. That's interesting, that everybody knows that the foolish themselves are lying. It's as if they're lying to themselves about what the world truly is and what death truly foreshadows. Reasonable, yeah. Yeah, and that totally reminds me of all of the perspectives within rumour-related stuff that is going around at the moment. Those who swallow the lies of the foolish make fools of themselves. Yes, they're lies. They were all lies. That the world has always existed. Yeah, but... I'm sorry, Takuji, give me proof. And don't you dare say any theory, logic, because that can all be disproved. Like I did, I kind of disproved that with my thinking. Don't give me proof for something that hasn't even happened yet. Could you imagine if what Takuji was saying was wrong? Oh god, that would be scary. Yeah, and the world will continue to exist forevermore. They are all lies. Yeah. Well, death, of course. The path we walk leads to the abyss. It's an incredibly pessimistic way of viewing life, but sure. I don't even disagree with that. But obviously not in this case. It's interesting that he sounds more troubled here, don't you think? The world will end. It will surely end. This is the truth. As proof, I shall make 3 predictions. So he's already made, I think it's 2? I can't remember. Isn't it interesting to think this could really be interpreted as maybe him having a conversation, him just hallucinating a conversation? I mean, he is quite literally talking to himself here, or at least it feels like it. Yeah, so he didn't really make any predictions here.
一つもう一つの死によって死への濃度はさらに明言されるであろう。
Yeah, in other words, I'm going to commit murder. In other words, the thickness of death in the air will be affirmed with yet another death.
二つ多くの者がその死をもう一度目撃するであろう。
So it's going to be a murder that probably Takuji is going to do. It's going to be a skillfully done murder.
三つそして死者は語るであろう。
Thirdly, the deceased will speak of
すべての終局を
the ultimate demise. But the only thing is that kind of implies that he's going to die, doesn't it? Not what I was expecting. Mamiya dashed out of the classroom. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, everybody was speechless at its sudden departure. Odd. Really, really odd. After a long silence, another teacher came running in, and the classroom was filled with... Oh god, what is he going to do? That's the problem. A lot of witnesses are going to witness a murder, and the deceased is going to speak of the ultimate demise, implying that the deceased will know. But the only thing is, this is the bad thing. There is a discrepancy in assuming that somebody is going to murder. Why is the deceased, if they have been murdered by somebody that they really hate, going to forcibly say something they may not even believe? But what if they do? What if Ayana's going to be killed because she's the only person who I could feel may have ideals that are remotely similar to Takuji's? Who knows? After a long silence, another teacher came running in and the classroom was filled with chatter. Oh god, yeah. She's been down all that time. Fucking hell. I just stood there. I don't blame. And this is the worst thing with Yuki. She is really, really connected with these things, especially because she has had that upper layer of torture psychologically just because of the fact that she knows and has talked to these people. She has seen the change in Takuji. Oh god, yeah, gossip time.
世界が嘘で満ちていることを、
Yeah.
そして真実は隠されていることか。
Interesting that we have this theme. The world is pervaded by lies and the truth is hidden, huh? Yeah, no, that is a really good point. But the only thing is, isn't it really interesting? Because what he is saying, it does have a note of logical reason to it, and that's the worst thing about it, if I'm going to be honest. It's all justifiable. Well, it's not really justifiable. It's not justifiable anything of what he's done. But at the same time, he does have points that are reasonable to make. Why did I simply stand by and watch? Why didn't I say anything back to him? Because I was dizzy? Well, to be fair, I do see that. But at the same time, it would have just ended with you getting hurt. Let's be honest. Takuji will do anything he can to finish what he needs to say. You can't do anything. Genuinely, you are powerless. Because I was dizzy? Because my head hurt? That's no excuse. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's no excuse. It wasn't so bad that I wasn't able to at least say a single word. I couldn't speak at all. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I just listened to Kagami yelling at him. This is a really distressing event. Yeah, I just listened to Mamiya Takuji gleefully listing his predictions. I couldn't do anything. I wonder what I was supposed to do back there. To be honest, I'm not even joking. I feel like this is the least painful route, not only for you, but for everybody who cares about you. Look at Kagami, she tried to intercept. Nothing happened. The only way to win against somebody like Takuji, let's be honest, is violence. Isn't it interesting? Key hint about Takuji's paranoia, potentially. Remember when the teacher called him over to ask about violence? Why did he assume... No, to ask him over, to come here. Why did Takuji necessarily assume that violence was going to be used? Could that maybe hint to paranoia? wonder what I was supposed to do to Mamiya Takuji back there. Yeah, it's a horrible situation because you feel like you could have maybe done something because you personally know him, but no, you're powerless. Oh, what's happening now? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do wonder what's going to happen now. Isn't it interesting that every time Ayana, it's as if Ayana is trying to see something that is never ever there. It's as if it's a sky in another universe. Maybe, oh, it's the fourth dimension. Maybe it could potentially be a higher dimension. Higher plane of being. A higher plane of being that knows the truth. Gonna just take a break for a sec. Okay, do you know what's ironic about this? I feel like we are with Ayana at the moment, yet we're not going to hear the signature theme that always comes up. I feel like the atmosphere is just too hostile to be able to hear the thing that we always associate. I feel like it's just going to be, well, I mean, we always associate a particular song, so if you want to just get such a cheap method of installing fear into us, don't let us hear the song that we always normalise with a certain character. That's my opinion. Otanashi Ayana-san. I'm impressed, genuinely. Good morning. Of course she is. Why would she not? Good morning. So you're cutting class too? Well, yes. I see. So what were you doing? Looking. That is really unusual. At the sky again? Yes. The sky, huh? Yeah. I see. Oh god, is that from the guilt with everything regarding Takuji? I think she might actually be the best person to ask for advice on. I'm not even joking. Minakami-san, why are you crying? Crying? Yeah. Well, it could be emotionally or crying inside as well. Doesn't the word crying usually refer to somebody who's shedding tears? Interesting. Does it? I'm not sure. I just had a feeling. She just had a feeling about the fact that Yuki was crying just because of how stressed she has been. But that's really odd to think about the fact that she would instinctively know. I mean, these people haven't really talked that much. I wonder how she can tell that something's odd with Yuki, that she's just a lot more sad than she would normally be. Nothing worth crying over happened, but... Oh yeah, of course, I don't really feel that great either. You don't feel that great? Nope. Because a lot has happened? Yeah, totally. I don't blame her. I really don't. If anything, it's going to be really interesting just to think about what Yuki's reaction at the end of the world will truly be. Maybe it's just going to be a little bit of relief. I mean, obviously you're going to die, but at the same time, it's just... I suppose it's going to be a break. An eternal break from all of these really hectic days. Yeah, maybe. A lot has happened lately. I'm getting worn out. What about you?
私がどうしたの？
What about me?
どう思うのかなって。
I was just wondering, how do you feel?
どう思う？
How do I feel?
いやさ、同じ学年のやつが2人も短期間に死んで、それ
Yeah,
が
I
学
do
校
wonder
中
what she's
わけのわから
feeling.
ない噂で持ちきりみたいだし。
She sees more though. I don't think she feels anything apart from calculation. It's just that the two of our classmates died in such a short period of time, and the whole school is going wild with rumors.
噂？
Rumors?
あ、そっか。
She doesn't know. That's
綾菜さん
unusual.
は知らないだろうな。
Oh, I see. You don't know about them, do you?
高島桜さんからのメールの話。
Interesting that she knows about that. Is it about the messages from Takashima Zakuro-san?
知ってるの？
You knew? So she didn't know about the rumors, but at the same time she knew about the messages. That's really unusual.
わりかし。
Sort of.
もしかして綾菜さんの携帯にも？
Did you get one of those messages on your phone too?
私は携帯電話を持っていない。
Oh, that's odd.
私に来たのは違うもの。
I don't have a cell phone. I received something else. Funny that Ayana and Yuki don't have a cell phone. I bet you Takuji does though. I think he did it. I don't have a cell phone. I received something
違う
else.
もの？って何が来たの？
Something else. Wait, what is it? What the
高島さん
fuck?
から。
Yes, something from Takashima-san.
高島さんから？
From Takashima-san?
うん。
Yes.
それって
What is it?
見たい？
Do you want to see?
そりゃ気になる。そんな言われ方したら。でもそれって大丈夫？
Well, of course, if you say it like that. But what do you mean? Is it okay?
大丈夫って。
What do you mean by okay?
あ、いや、なんて言ったらいいかわからないけど。
Oh, I don't really know how to put it.
それって水上さんが大丈夫なのかって意味でいいの？
That's interesting. You would have thought that if it's something that Zakudor has sent to Ayana or showed her, there would be some sort of sensitivity, but no, there isn't anything. It's just whether we want to see what Ayana has been sent by Zakudor. That's really odd. I might leave this till tomorrow. It depends. How about we say if it's okay
なんで
with you?
私が？というか、
Yeah.
そんな見たらショックを受けるようなもの？
Why me? Is it something that shocking?
さあ、それはわからない。
Well, fair enough. I mean, different perceptions. You've already experienced the potential shock, if there is one. Ayana doesn't seem like the type of person to get shocked, to be honest. Who knows? I couldn't say.
ただ、それはあなたが隠したものだから。
It's just something that you've hidden. What?
私も？
How could she have unintentionally hidden something?
でも、
Ah,
正
okay,
し
yeah,
く
that
は
makes
水
more
上
sense.
さ
Yeah.
んが隠したものじゃない。水上さんに隠されたもの。
Yeah. Yeah, though more accurately, it's not something you've hidden. It's something that's been hidden from you.
何それ？よく理解できないけど。
Yeah.
綾菜さん、何か知ってるの？
What do you mean? I don't really understand. Do you know something?
あなたが知ってることしか知らないよ。
That's interesting that she's not willing to give up answers. I wonder why that is. I only know that which you know.
私が知ってること？
What I know?
あなたの限界が世界の限界。
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. There's a
だ
the
からあ
link
なた
there.
が語り得ないこと。
Oh,
あな
shit.
たが見ることができないことをあなたに教えることができないし、
Ah, there's something
見せ
that
るこ
gives.
ともできない。
There is something that. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. There is something that gives way more of an interpretation into what's happening with Takuji and the limit of his world. Oh my god, I'm excited to reread the beginning of chapter 2. Yes, your limit is the limit of the world. Therefore, I'm unable to tell or show you anything which you are not capable of seeing or speaking of. I suppose the limit of the world that you are currently perceiving is the world in which... Oh my god, that makes so much more sense now. But the world in which you are perceiving is the limit of your world. The limit of your understanding depends on the world you perceive. Takuji's world is so different to our world? Is it possible for people to have different levels of understanding and different limits of the world to live in the same world? It all makes sense now. It all does. Yeah, therefore I'm unable to tell you or show you anything which you were not capable of seeing or speaking of. That's interesting though. It really is.
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
語り得るものは明晰に。
To put it clearly, that of which you can speak
あなたが見た光景しか見せられないということ。
is only that which you have seen. I can't show you anything else.
私が？
What I've seen. What the fuck? What is she doing? She's coming closer and closer to us. I think Ayana may have been the person in the vertigo. I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the hair colour fits. That's interesting. Ayana thinks about the fact that she can't show anything that Yuki herself is not going to be capable of seeing or speaking of. That's interesting. You can't be capable of seeing something you can't understand. If it's something that's within a higher concept or a higher dimension possibly, you can't see or understand it. I see that. Yeah, fair enough. But that's actually really quite interesting to think about the fact that she invites us to see everything regarding Zakuro. Yeah, do you want to see? Yeah, but then she says if it's okay with us. But the only thing is, it does kind of make sense. Isn't it interesting? You've hidden it by not having the knowledge to see what has been hidden away from you. So you have not had the knowledge to see what has been hidden away from you. So as a result of that, Ayana asks for consent and asks if she wants to be able to show Yuki everything regarding Zakuro, because of the fact that there could be the possibility of Yuki not being in a high enough frame of mind to understand what's being said. No, I don't think that's it. I think it's getting there. Yeah, and I that's totally reasonable, yeah. Huh? I find it funny that she's getting so close to us. Why do humans try to hide things? Because we have something to gain from hiding them. What are you talking about? It's interesting. Tie that to death. You know that death is going to happen. You act as if you don't because you want to hold on to your life, and then you truly forget when you are dead. even though they know something, they act as if they don't, and then one day they do truly forget. I see that.
忘れたにもかかわらずそれに興味を抱くくせに
They still want to know it, even after they've forgotten it. Yeah.
親のそう
Ayala-san.
そういえばさっき間宮くんの教室で声がした
Interesting. Actually, I heard a voice from Mamiyaku's classroom.
間宮大声で言ってた
Yeah.
人は死を隠したこの世界は死を隠した
Mamiya told everybody, yeah, about how people have hidden death. He says the world has hidden death.
ならせっかく隠したものをなんで人は暴こうとするんだろ
Yeah, that is a good point. Then why do people try to dig it up after they've gone through all the trouble of hiding it?
うなんでせっかく遠くに隠した死それに人は見せら
Yeah,
れるんだろう
that's a really good point, yeah. But that's what fear does. Your logic before is to hide something like that out of sight, but then because of fear that has arisen because of people like Takuji, this is happening. And then ironically, Takuji is the person that is criticizing all of these people for having said fears, even though he's probably the person who spread the rumors.
一生懸命隠したはずなのに
Yeah, I see
ま
that.
た掘り返そうとしている
But that's inevitable. They put so much effort into hiding it, and yet they dig it up again.
水上さんもせっかく隠したものを
Yeah,
また
that's
掘り返そう
interesting.
としている
But the only thing that's really unusual about this, if you ask me, all of this implies she is trying to unearth death. You two are trying to unearth something which you've hidden.
それは全く同じこと
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
私が隠したもの
Something I've
そ
hidden.
うそれを隠し通せば
If you manage to conceal it or
あるいは
or
素晴らしき日々
the world of the dream. That's interesting. The
素
wonderful
晴
every
ら
day.
しき日々
The name of the visual novel.
永遠の生の中に人は生きる
People live within the eternity of life.
永遠の中に人は生きるって何それ
People live within eternity. What are you talking about? A person's life is their eternity.
そう生は閉じたもの死は誰にも明け放たれていないものだから
That's unusual. Yes, life is a closed book. After all, death opens its doors for no one.
隠し通せば知ることなどない
If you manage to conceal it, you will know
それと
nothing.
同じ素晴らしき日々は語り得ぬ沈黙の上に立
Just like that, the wonderful everyday will be constructed upon the silence, whereupon you cannot speak because you'll be dead.
つ死を思わず死を知らずそして生の中にありて
Oh yeah, no, I really like this because that totally refers to the three states of thesis, thesis, synthesis, and antithesis. Yeah, the dialectic state, yeah, that totally does, and that's the antithesis, the state of denial. By the way, I'll probably analyse this more tomorrow.
いつの日にかあなたの目の前を通り過ぎた猫のようにいつの日にかあなたが眠る夜に吠える犬のように
Just like the cat that one day crossed your path. Just like the dog that one night howled while you slept.
足元のおぼつかないブロック塀の上を上手に歩き上限の月を喰らうように吠える
Walking gingerly upon the top of a fence. Howling as if to devour the crescent moon.
子猫のように小さき者の命を引き裂き子犬のように従順な瞳で人を見上げる
Like a kitten, ending the lives of those smaller than itself. I like that. Like a puppy looking up at people with submissive. I like that.
猫のように孤独の夜にあり犬のように集団の森に
Like a cat passing the night in solitude, a dog amongst a great mass of companions.
生を思わず、そして生を知る。
Yeah, thinking not of life, yet knowing life.
その中に、あるいはその外に素晴らしき日々が。
Within it or without it, the wonderful everyday will... Her voice was quiet. Yeah, I totally agree. And her eyes were lucid. Yeah, she seemed to know everything. She seemed to see everything. She gave me good... Who wouldn't think that? But...
綾菜さん、あなたは何をしているの？
Ayana-san, what is it that you know?
水上さんが知ることだけ。
Oh, that's interesting. She's being mean. She really, really is. Or maybe this is the truth. I wonder. Only that which you know.
それはどういうこと？
What do you mean? God, look at her
質問ばかりの
face.
人は嫌われる。
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, I don't like people who do nothing but ask questions.
私は別に他人に好かれたくない。
I like that. I don't really want people to like me anyway. What she knows. I was scared of that truth, and yet you ask. I wanted to know it too. Yeah, you are in the stage that is in the middle. You've got to reach the synthesis stage.
外に行きたいの。
They are outside. Oh, do you want to go outside?
外？
Outside?
うん。ここより先の世界。
Yes, to the next world.
先の世界？
The next world? Yes.
まるで綾菜さんの言うことも。
Yeah, I see
タク
that.
ジみたいだね。
I totally see that. Yeah, you're starting to sound like Mamiya Takuji.
そう。かっこいいね。
Really, do I sound cool?
全然。
Funny that that's a compliment for her. Not at all, it's pretty gross.
かっこいいのに。外の世界とか、先の世界とか、なんか気持ちよさそう。
I thought I sounded cool talking about the outside world and the next world. They sound like they would be nice.
ふん。なら綾菜さんが言う外って何？
Yeah, but that is
先
the
の世界
question.
は何かしら？
So then what is that outside? What's the next
そ
world?
れってあの世のこと？それとももっと高尚な神様の世界？それとも高次元の世界？
You
どち
mean
らにして
heaven?
も
Or some other afterlife or a higher plane of existence? Either way,
馬鹿げている？
does it sound absurd?
そう、
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree.
そうだよ。水上さんの言う通りだよ。外の世界なんかない。すべては私たちの世界。それはどこまで行っても私たちの世界。ここに立ち止まるのも、ここから歩き出すのも同じく私たちの世界。あの世があるとしたら、それはきっと私たちの世界。もっと高度な高次元の世界があるとしたら、それも私たちの世界。神様の世界があっても悪魔の世界があっても、それはきっと私たちの世界。この世界が新しい。それこそ外から新しい注釈をつけたとしても、それも新しい私たちの世界。
That's so weird. What the
いいえ、そんなものは新しくも古くもない世界だと思う。なら、これから見える世界もまたあなたの世界。新しくも古くもない世界。こんな言葉が水上さんにとっての正しい注釈になるのかな。おななさん。
This is so odd.
今の今高島さんの
水上さんが持ってるものなら見せてあげられる。
私が持ってるもの、どういうこと？
水上さん、こんな話知ってる？世界には何人の魂があれば足りるか。
それはどういう意味？
そのままの意味。世界に必要な数の魂、多分一つで十分。
どういう意味？綾菜さん。
Ha 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 ha.
綾菜さん。
That's so unusual. She disappears at the time of 3:30, it looks like. Because it was 3:30 then, she disappeared. That's fucking weird. Right, we're going to reinterpret all of this tomorrow. I just wanted to read that because I was too curious. We're going to look at everything. We're going to reanalyze all of that scene tomorrow. My god, that was so good today. I really, really enjoyed that. That's the best Subarashiki Hibi session I think I've had so far. I really, really loved everything that happened with Takuji. It was such an interesting and awesome progression that we just gradually saw, and it was so unusual. And everything that happened with Ayana as well, that was odd. That really, really was, just at the end there. And my god, seeing all of the stuff, seeing everything unfolding, and seeing Takuji's views, his projections, his prophecies as well, and just all of his logic in general. I think that's really, really interesting. And you know, just trying to reason with his ideas and trying to process them and comprehend them and think, do I trust this? Do I not? And just thinking about everything that's going on here, it really is interesting, because I think it's very likely about the fact that Ayana, there's so much more to her than we realise. I will interpret that later on, but yeah, I think there's more to her, there's more to Takuji, there's just more to the world than we know of. I mean, like everybody is saying, we can only know what we know. Beyond what we know it's completely obscured. And there is no way of knowing anything beyond what we don't know. But the only thing is, what Takuji kind of argues is that because of the fact that it's in a higher dimension, a higher plane of being, it's something that we can never see. It's just as if we try to see it, it will just be blurred and it will be distorted. Kind of like how a being of a higher dimension was for Yuki. And isn't it funny that in the Vertigo we could have potentially seen Ayana there? That one time where we were with Kagami and Tsukasa and we saw a figure within that Vertigo, that was potentially Ayana. That could imply that she's a being of a higher dimension, if you ask me. It was really interesting that we did see a figure there. I think that was Ayana. Anyway, that was amazing today. I really am looking forward just to looking into what the fuck is going to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, see you guys. Thank you for watching.